of waiting and wearing a mask. Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Sam Jones, and we're open and here to serve you with some of the best whole hog barbecue, chicken, turkey, ribs, and homemade sides every day for lunch and dinner. There are 3 easy ways to enjoy Sam Jones barbecue. Swing by our drive-thru window or try one of our 2 curbside takeout options by calling in your order at 689-6997 or ordering online at samjonesbbq.com. We love Eastern North Carolina, and we invite you to come by and enjoy some great tasting Sam Jones barbecue today.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has something for everyone, like New York-style pizza, lasagna, chicken, veal, or eggplant parmesan, homemade meatballs, plus a variety of seafood selections and favorites, like the steak burger and southern pork chop. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
It is Wednesday, and we are here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios for an all-new 3-hour tour on Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here in the Pirate Radio studios. Chandler Honeycutt, Shirley Rhodes alongside for the ride here on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are on 1250, 930. You can find us online, pr927fm.com. And you can watch the program on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube. Check out all the great videos we have there, including Cliff Godwin's latest comments. He had a Zoom with the media on Tuesday before coming here, and then before heading out to Tampa to take on the South Florida Bulls. We got that. We got the newest edition of Pirate Radio Trivia. All kinds of great stuff there on YouTube. Follow us on all our social media accounts for all the latest up-to-the-date information and news regarding the Pirates and everything going on in the Pirate Nation. All right, Mike Mullis is on his way to the Pirate Radio studios. He'll join us in a little bit to talk some baseball and some golf. Big golf week with Dorothea Forbrick playing out in Arizona. We talked to her on the show yesterday. We might recap some of that here on today's show. HV3, Harold Varner III in the PGA Championship beginning on Thursday. So we'll talk golf, we'll talk baseball, we'll talk about these stupid unwritten rules in baseball. That is the topic now. Baseball really is the dumbest sport. We'll talk about it with Mully coming up in about 15 minutes. Brett Kennedy, WCTI 12, has been busy traveling around and covering all the local sports, including ECU baseball, Wood Ducks baseball, high school baseball, Pitt Community College, everything in between. So we got a lot to discuss with Brett Kennedy from WCTI 12 in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll visit with the voice Jeff Charles coming up at around 4:15, 4:20 to talk about what's going on in the world of sports. He's out in Michigan. He sees a lot of bad Tigers baseball. Last night, he saw a no-hitter. They no-hit Igos Mariners. Was Spencer Turnbull with the no-hitter last night, as those are popping up all over the place in Major League Baseball. Mike Mullis has a take on that we will discuss in a little bit, and Jeff Charles will talk about it coming up in Hour 2. Hour 3, Bryce Williams, former ECU tight end, We'll get us up to date on what's going on in the life of Bryce. We'll get some hunting, some fishing, some Pirate Radio Outdoors, talk a little football, and some Pirate Baseball. We'll have our ECU report coming up in hour number 3. So that is all ahead on the show. I've also been in contact with Jake Verity, former ECU kicker, who signed with the Baltimore Ravens, and we're going to get Jake on the show at some point this week, and congratulations to him for signing that contract. Playing for with the team now with the best kicker in the NFL. So not sure how that's going to work out. In fact, Jake talked about Justin Tucker when he joined us on the show back in April, and we'll catch up with Jake at some point this week and talk about how all that went down, signing with the Baltimore Ravens. All right, boy, Chandler, you know what? I didn't watch one single second of the Hornets game last night because by the time I got home and went to my Roku, my TNT app was not working for whatever reason, and they were down by 18.
I have a possible reason why, because that game was just absolutely atrocious.
So they're down by so much. I got home close to 7 o'clock, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch the live dozen trivia premiere and just keep an eye on the score. And the score never got closer. And I did not waste my time watching that game last night.
Well, I actually was able to watch all of it. Well, the last between 5 and 10 minutes of the game I did not watch. I looked at my roommate and I said, look, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm not watching any more of it. And he kept saying, I want to see if the Hornets can come back and make this a game. I'm like, dude, we're down 30 points. With 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Just a terrible,
forget about it.
Terrible showing, a terrible effort.
Everyone was cold from the field. Terry Rozier, who's been hot all year, could not hit a shot last night.
And
defense was terrible.
How about McBuckets?
Oh, my God. Hey, I think he had 20 in the first 5 minutes.
Doug McDermott.
He couldn't miss.
Exciting.
The Pacers couldn't miss. And I believe... I can't remember. I think it's Greg Anthony, the analyst on TNT yesterday, was talking about how the Pacers were playing like it's a playoff game, where the Hornets were playing like it was just a regular game.
Brutal.
And the Pacers were just a lot faster, and they played a lot harder than the Hornets last night, and it showed on the scoreboard.
Where'd Greg Anthony go to college?
Carolina. No, not Carolina.
His son did.
His son did.
Greg Anthony played with the Plastic Man, Stacey Augman.
Don't know who that
Anderson Hunt, and Larry Johnson.
Oh, UNLV.
At UNLV. Boy, just an awful showing by the Hornets last night.
Absolutely disgusting.
After that, the Wizards had an early lead, and the Celtics came back to beat Washington last night. Kimba had 29, but the story was Jason Tatum with his 50-burger.
50-burger.
That he put up last night. Jason Tatum has scored 50 points 3 times this season, and on 2 of those 3 occasions, a no-hitter was thrown in the same night. I saw that weird stat last night.
Stat to consider.
Coming up tonight, you've got the Grizzlies and Spurs in the play-in game, and you've got the LeBron and Steph Curry showdown.
That's going to be fun. It's a late night. It's a late night show, but
10 o'clock.
I'll have to stay up after trivia to watch that show.
We got sports trivia 8 o'clock at AJ McMurphy's. We'll be watching Game 2 of the Hurricanes Predators series as they'll face off just after 8 o'clock. So come on out, watch the Canes, and play some sports trivia. We're going to have fun tonight at AJ McMurphy's. Hurricanes looking to go up 2-0 in that series, and it's going to be a madhouse tonight at PNC Arena. Cannot wait for that. Fired up for Game 2 tonight. All right, Shirley Rhodes, let's go to your news desk and see what is going on this Wednesday.
I am not quite done, but I can give you what I've got. Let's see. Let me get this done. Okay, minor league baseball update, of course. We have Jarrell Cotton. He pitched last night for the Round Rock Express. He only went an inning and 2/3, but he did allow 3 runs on 4 hits and allowed a walk, but he also struck out 2. Round Rock beat the Sugarland Skeeters by a final of 8-5. Evan Krasinski made an appearance for the Memphis Redbirds last night. He only pitched an inning, but he retired all 3 batters that he faced. And but the Redbirds lost to the Louisville Bats by a final of 4-2. Jack Reinheimer was in action last night for the Tacoma Rainiers. And he went 1 for 4. The Rainiers lose to the Salt Lake Bees by a final of 9-3. And then Mike Wright is slated to take the mound tonight as the starter, as the Charlotte Knights will be in Durham to take on the Durham Bulls. First pitch is slated for 6:35 tonight in Durham. Dwanye Williams-Sutton had a pretty good night last night. He was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs as the Fort Wayne Tin Caps defeated the Lansing Lugnuts 13-1. Another great minor league name there.
One of the classics, yeah.
And Bryant Packard was also in action last night. He went 1 for 4, scored a run as well. The Whitecaps doubled up the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers by a final of 8-4. Spencer Brighouse was 1 for 3 last night, and he was... he just went 1 for 3. Hillsborough Hops, though, lose to the Vancouver Canadians by a final of 13-3. And the Springfield Cardinals were in action last night. Alec Burleson was in the lineup, and I'm getting ready to pull up the box score here, so I'll give that to you as I'm looking at it.
Alec was just called up on Monday, made the trip from Peoria to Springfield, actually joined us on the show during that car trip, and was in the lineup last night for the first time in Double-A Springfield.
Yep, but unfortunately, and I think that drive may have done something to him, but he was 0 for 3. He did walk. He did draw a walk, but he also struck out. So that's what we've got as far as the minor league baseball update. We do have a little bit of basketball news. Chandler, do you want to pull that up real quick, since I haven't had a chance to look at it, but Chandler saw a tweet just a few minutes ago and mentioned it to me about ECU basketball.
I can't wait to hear it.
Well, as soon as he pulls it up.
I mean, the suspense.
It's killing you.
Yeah.
Of course it is. But it has something to do with the Myrtle Beach Invitational.
Okay. I love
here we go.
A party at Dirty Myrtle. That is the voice of Mike Mullis, who's here.
Here we go. I'm just in time.
Okay, so John Rothstein actually put it out that says, according to his sources, Oklahoma, Davidson, Utah State, New Mexico State, Indiana State, East Carolina, Old Dominion, and Penn will headline the 2021 Myrtle Beach Invitational.
That's the headliners.
Yes.
I wonder if this is one of those where you play on campus a couple of games and then maybe you get to go to Myrtle Beach, or if everything is in Myrtle Beach.
That's a good question.
Those are some good schools there.
Yeah, and he did make a note at the bottom where it says New Mexico State was originally slated to be in the Diamond Head Classic, but they're now headed to Myrtle Beach. So there you go.
Oklahoma was top 25-ish last year.
Yeah, Oklahoma was a decent team last year.
So, all right, well, Pirates still have their work cut out for them. Who's going to be playing and coaching in that game for ECU? You got any news on that?
No.
All right.
Not a clue.
There you go. All right, anything else, Shirley?
Nope, that's all I got.
All right, before we move along and get to Mike Mullis, I don't believe I have any more news and notes as well regarding East Carolina. So let's move on. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. Mike Mullis is here. We will talk baseball. We will talk golf. We will talk unwritten rules and all that bullcrap. More Pirate Radio Live. Mully is in the house. He's yawning, so he's ready to go. We're back after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 Sierra 1500 and save over $5,000 or 0% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
A car wash experience like no other is here at the new Tommy's Express. You'll enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride through our bright, inviting wash as luscious foams and soft cloths treat your car like new. After a final rinse, wax, and blow dry for a beautiful spot-free shine in just about 3 minutes, help yourself to our free vacuums and mat washers. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
What's the big deal?
Where can you get pizza, bread twists, specialty chicken, and more for just $5.99 each?
Is it at Domino's?
He hands off hand-tossed pizza and a marble cookie brownie. He's going!
There's a lot of variety on the radio and at Domino's too, where you can
mix and match 2 or more. $5.99 each at Domino's.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza, bone-in wings, and bread bowls will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting pirates.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hey Birdland, experience an Orioles game this season with the convenience and privacy of your very own suite. Choose from an array of options and prices to gather with family and friends or entertain clients. Each suite features climate-controlled interior seating, a private restroom, and comfortable outside seating. Plus, enjoy the best views of Camden Yards. Suites can accommodate 8 to 22 guests. Capacity is limited, so select your dates and purchase tickets now. Learn more about single-game suites at Orioles.com/suites.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Got damage? Damage from wood rot? Fixed. Damage from smoke or fire? Fixed. Damage caused by water? Fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC. Restore, renew, maintain. And Clip, as we head back into the show, it is official. The NCAA announced that local and state guidelines will guide capacity limits in the baseball and softball postseasons.
There we go.
100% will be allowed. Also, masks and distancing will not be required at the ballparks. So there you go. Clark LeClaire Stadium.
We are back.
will be open for business
That's
if
awesome
we
news.
become a regional site.
That is great news. I've been saying I thought that the NCAA was going to back off of that. It's kind of hard to say the NCAA and think about them doing the right thing, but they did in this case. They looked around and saw that they were the only ones with restrictions at this point, and will lift them. And of course, the state opened up regulations last week and eased off restrictions here in North Carolina. Now the NCAA does it today, so we got some folks. We need to talk to some folks at ECU and see what that means for tickets and attendance for a potential regional at Clark LeClaire Stadium. And Mike Mullis on Friday, the NCAA announced 20 potential sites for regionals. ECU was in that 20, and they also went out and went 3-1 over the weekend, trying to cement that spot. And they'll try to do the same coming up this week when they take on South Florida. Pirates are in good shape right now.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those deals. And actually had a chance to chat with some of the coaching staff on Tuesday. And they were like, man, people just don't. And it is hard if you've never been in a 4-game series in a weekend. Is just a grind. And you know it from your role when games, for your part of it.
I did a doubleheader last Saturday. Yeah, I was exhausted.
You feel like you did a whole season.
And I just sat there and ate sunflower seeds.
Right. They took care of business. And, I mean, that's a much improved Cincinnati team. I think that's been talked about a lot. I think that team's very different at home. Obviously, their defensive numbers bear out that they like that turf field and they know how to play it. They're where they need to be, and it's not time to take a break. It's going to be a tough deal this weekend coming up, and then turn around with the conference tournament. Because remember, there's only 2 teams of relevance in the conference as it relates to postseason play, and that's East Carolina and Tulane. So, I mean, you could have a wild card come out of it and win the conference tournament.
2019, that was Cincinnati.
Right. So but you know what that does, if you're East Carolina, is it puts you in a position where you could face a lot of number ones. In other words, guys, right. Or at least 2. You because the other teams are really there to play spoiler. So it'll be interesting. I definitely the job is not done. I think everything looks good for a regional host. I think it would take something almost catastrophic for it not to happen. But let's not count the chickens before they hatch, because let's
not catch the chickens before they hatch is what Cliff Godwin told me on Twitter.
Did he? Yeah. Let's know. Well, it'd be tough to do. Well, actually, they're a little less mobile before they hatch.
That is true. That's the only time I could catch a chicken.
They're right where they need to be, and it's this is always a cool week to me. I always like when the Pirates play on Thursday. It just seems to extend the weekend a little bit. Playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then going into the conference tournament, which we'll get baseball on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yep. So I mean, I always think that's kind of cool, and it's kind of a mad dash from this point to the end of the World Series.
We are less than a week from the tournament beginning.
Yep.
And ECU has 4 games in between that. That's
right.
A lot of games coming up.
And we've seen in the past where East Carolina's gone down, and they've been the guys that the year with Krasinski got healthy and was available for the tournament, and Holba, those guys came back, but they were able to kind of Johnny Holstaff it through the tournament, and then have their 2 best guys still waiting in the wings.
Speaking of Johnny Holstaff, it reminded me last night, the Mets threw 7 pitchers against the Braves and beat them. They went Johnny Holstaff in Major League Baseball.
You don't see that often.
No, you don't. And it's kind of frustrating when they bring in a different guy every inning, and Atlanta could barely touch him.
No, that's a tough deal as a hitter, especially when you're facing big league arms. You can't really settle in, and there's a reason why guys pitch different first time through the lineup as opposed to the times after, because you're trying to change your look and give the look of being another guy. So, awesome last night. We had another who cares no hitter.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment.
Turnbull.
Well, on ECU, one of the reasons we like Cliff Godwin is he says whatever he thinks.
Oh yeah,
and it was no different yesterday when he was on Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, do you have the Cliff Godwin cut where Troy D asked him about North Carolina and NC State? All right, here is that from Tuesday's Pirate Radio Live.
Who do you dislike more, UNC Chapel Hill or NC State?
I don't like anybody that we play against.
Equally dislike them. Great answer. I like that.
That is
good. I'll let you off the hook on that one. All right.
Put it
just
this
like them
way,
both the
and you
same.
and this is no disrespect to them, but I'm just East Carolina. I would never be the head coach at either one of those schools because of my loyalty to East Carolina.
Wow. So if they came and said, Coach,
hey,
we'll pay you $2 million a year to be the UNC Chapel Hill coach.
Nope.
And we'll give you an unlimited budget for recruiting and assistance.
I'm probably getting myself in trouble right now, but I'm not.
You will never accept an offer from UNC or NC State.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
This is why I love this guy.
Well,
right here.
we can go on now. We got our soundbite for the day.
I will
We're
tell you
good.
this. No
Make
other
sure that
coach.
the whole entire quote's in there, not that.
Yeah, no, that's great. No other
Yeah.
coach in ECU history, I think, would have ever said that or has ever said
But I
that.
played
And that
here.
is
But I
exactly
played- but I
that is
played
why the Pirate Nation loves this guy, because not only is he successful, but he's a pirate through and through.
God, I've just probably got myself.
No, this puts you at legendary status, coach. What are you talking about?
I know, but
right when we thought you couldn't get any higher, here you go.
I don't want to, throw shade at anybody. I mean,
No,
they got great.
that's
programs
awesome.
and
I love
stuff
that.
and great head coaches.
I admire your passion and we've talked about this before. That's something that is not fake. This isn't. Granted, it's a job, but it's more than a job for you.
It is. And Cliff would tell you, I get frustrated with the media sometimes, So, it's normally what you see is what you get, right, Cliff?
You are what you say you are, like Eminem said. You said it earlier. Cliff Godwin said his favorite music artist was Eminem earlier in the show, and his favorite song is I Am Whatever You Say I Am, and that's what he is, Mully.
Yeah.
Breaking news, North Carolina has offered Cliff Godwin $4 million a year to coach. What's his decision going to be? No, that's that was pretty strong, Mully. That's why we like Cliff. You believe him?
Oh yeah, I believe
Money
him.
talks.
I've known him a long time. I believe him. I just think that's going to be interesting. I wonder if that'll come back up next year as
when they play each other or whatever.
Or now you also have to remember there is a quite a good likelihood that NC State could come here. And actually, maybe Carolina to Charlotte, or you could see one of those teams, and it would be just a beautiful thing if somehow the baseball gods decided to put East Carolina, Carolina, and State
all in one regional
in Greenville. That'd be unbelievable. But
and by the way, Cliff Godwin did not slight either one of them.
No. He just said that's who he is.
Yeah, I'm an ECU guy. I wouldn't coach at NC State or North Carolina. He didn't say they were bad. He didn't.
No,
say
he
they
didn't.
sucked.
And look, he has respect for their coaches. They obviously play each other, and in order for them to play each other, they have to communicate and all these things. So
he's been open about Elliott Avent and how they have kind of come together over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and he and Scott Forbes are friendly and friends, and but Cliff has that killer mentality, that I don't want to say killer instinct, but that killer mentality that if you're across the field from him and you're not wearing the same uni he's wearing, he don't like you.
You're the enemy.
That's right, and that's kind of a sworn enemy from a long time with those two programs in the purple and gold.
And look, it fires up the fan base and gets folks excited.
Yeah.
We like to hear stuff like that. In fact, as I was growing up, Mully, I wanted my team to hate the opposing team as much as I did. So, like when Deshaun Jackson and Des Bryant would exchange jerseys after the Cowboys beat the Redskins, like I wanted to throw a brick at my team.
No, and it's very rare that the competitors share the sentiment. I think the greatest example is the Ohio State Michigan rivalry, where they have made it a thing where they don't see each other's names, and it's the school up north and that whole deal.
Yeah,
I think that one's fairly genuine. I think even if you look at like ACC basketball, you got State Duke, State Carolina, Carolina and Duke, but none of those, maybe Carolina and Duke, and now with all the one and dones, it's got even less luster than it used to have. But yeah, no, good for CG and State, and he just, I think he's where he wants to be, and and this is what his mission is right now.
Requiem for the Big East, the 30 for 30. Did you see that one? And like John Thompson, Jim Calhoun.
That was intense.
Yeah, like
those dudes genuinely disliked
Boeheim, the career whiner.
They coming to blows, disliked each other.
Yeah.
That was pretty legit,
and it makes it more interesting. It makes it more entertaining.
No,
for fans.
right.
All right,
that's
Molly,
why the WWE is such a big deal, right? They vocalize their distaste.
Mm-hmm. They call it. Should we have promos in sports?
Well,
before the game tonight, you get 3 minutes on the mic and you say whatever you want to the opposing team.
And if you go to the NBA and there's the soundbite that's out there now about with the Lakers and the Warriors playing tonight, and it's nothing but a love fest between LeBron and Steph, and you can't help but to wonder.
I heard somebody say, Mully, if they play the Nuggets next round, if he's going to say, really, Jokic should be the MVP. Well, does he keep changing his answer?
Well, here's the deal, because that gives him another pool to recruit from. He's
already thinking ahead.
So he's already going, okay, whose contracts are coming up? And I think Steph is getting pretty close. And, maybe we get a shooter like Steph and we can keep Davis healthy.
And he's always been his own GM for his team 100%. Anyway. He brings in – there's a reason why, like, Mike Miller and James Posey and Rashard Lewis, 100%. Went everywhere with LeBron because he liked those guys.
And he's worse than any NFL quarterback ever dreamed of being.
Yeah, you're right. And he brings those guys in, but he's good enough to win, so it really doesn't matter who's around him. But is he finally done? Is he too old, Mully? Or has he got another?
I don't think it's the years. I think it's the miles. I mean, he's been out there for a long time, and obviously the technology and the stuff that they have at their disposal now can buy you years. I mean, we see that with Brady and countless guys. But yeah, I mean, it's he's been kind of fragile this year, and so is Davis.
I love we're talking NBA with Mike Mullis. Did not plan on this.
Well,
will you flip over tonight? Are you going to be up at 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock, man. I couldn't care less. I'll check it in the morning.
Yeah,
but I did hear somebody talking about today that how bad the viewership is in the NBA this year, and I don't know that these play-in games help anything. I listen to enough sports talk radio and it's obviously what everybody's talking about right now. So basically, I'm regurgitating a lot of what other people's opinions, but. I can't bring myself to love the NBA. It is the playoffs. It is relevant. So it's what we're hearing about.
I'm legitimately excited about the Western Conference. I'm a big Damian Lillard fan, and the Blazers Nuggets series will be really good. Looking forward to that. So
that doesn't even make sense.
What doesn't?
Blazers and Nuggets being when is that? Back when NBA was relevant to me, the Blazers and Nuggets.
They were in the early 90s.
Clyde the Glide is all I remember about Portland.
Nuggets have never really been relevant since I've watched basketball.
I can't even tell. Manute Bol played for the Nuggets for a day or two or something. I mean, it's been, that's kind of my.
I think Alex English, he was before my time.
Yeah,
but I know that name.
I wouldn't even think that's,
Mutombo and the Nuggets upset Sean Kemp and the Sonics.
There's a big one.
In the early 90s, right. Mully. 1-8 matchup. All right, we got to move on. The second time out, we'll come back. You going to stick around another segment? All right. Mike Mullis is here, hanging out. We'll talk more baseball and some golf with Mike Mullis when we return on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
When fun finally returns, Bud Light legends don't just come back. They come roaring back, carrying a cooler full of Bud Lights, an inflatable dolphin, and those Velcro pads with the balls that stick to them. And this summer, with a cooler at their side, they're gonna make up for all the fun we've missed. Welcome back, Bud Light legends. It's time to take summer by the coolers. Cooler up at BudLightLegends.com. Enjoy responsibly. 2021 AB Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at FactoryMattressUSA.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
For the latest from the world of golf,
Tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the world's leader in traditional golf apparel. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. This is Stephen Igo, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and has an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. There's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Rock. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover, and brunch every Sunday. Make today, an AJ's Day. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday, hour number 1. We got a couple guests coming up in hour number 2. Brett Kennedy from WCTI 12 and also the voice Jeff Charles will join us in hour 2 of today's show as we keep you up to date on what's going on in the world of sports and what's going on in the world. And Mully, we got to address it. You are a guy whose opinion I value very, very highly on a lot of different topics. What is your take on UFOs? And
I did not think you were going there.
We have not discussed this at all. So, did you see 60 Minutes or hear about it? Or
no?
The military officers have seen for a while UFOs, which are unidentified flying objects.
Right.
That doesn't mean aliens.
Right. It
means an object.
That means we're not sure what it is.
That is unidentifiable. Are they seeing objects that come from a different universe? Are they seeing objects that other countries have developed technology-wise? Or is our own government, our own military doing secret things? Is that what they're seeing? What are they seeing out there when they're flying these planes?
So the PGA Championship is this weekend at Kiowa.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Mark Leishman in that. And I think it'll be interesting to see how Harold does.
Wow, you must know a lot if you're just going to completely disregard the subject. Okay,
yeah, I don't know how to.
You don't have any interest in it?
I don't.
None at all, huh?
No, I mean, listen. If it's aliens, what are we going to do? If it's the Russians, what are we going to do?
Well, if it's the Russians, that's a bigger problem than if it's aliens.
Is it? Have you seen Independence Day? They weren't playing.
No.
They weren't playing when they came here.
No peace.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got 4th of July coming up. I mean, I don't know. Was Independence Day kind of like foreshadowing what may happen?
Will Smith is still with us. Who was the actor? It was either Bill Pullman or...
No, it was Bill Paxton, I
Bill
believe.
Paxton. Is he still with us?
I do not believe so. I think he passed away.
So.
It was either Bill... double check that.
What do we do?
Maybe the guys are available from the guys that went up to the planet and drilled down. And
hold on, Troy wants to chime in.
Did he really walk all the way in here?
It wasn't real life.
He really walked all the way in here to say that?
What the alien? They could be friendly. You have no idea.
Well, they could be or they could not be. I mean, what makes you the authority on aliens?
I watch a lot of Discovery Channel.
And I'm not. that clears it up. No, I would rather talk about the PGA or baseball or something than the UFOs clip. I
try to talk about important topics.
Save it Thursday. I'll talk with you about it, Clip.
All right, looking forward to that.
Oh, there's something to be excited about.
Coming up on Thursday, we'll get to the bottom of this UFO topic.
That's great. What time y'all thinking you're going to do that so I can make sure I'm listening to something else?
We'll probably go a full show with it.
And did you really ask me if I watched 60 Minutes to learn about the UFOs?
I didn't watch it either, but I follow what's happening in the world, Mike.
And you choose to make that the UFOs? The UFOs?
That is very important.
That's a great minor league baseball team name. The UFOs. The UFOs.
Like the... Is there an Area 51 team or something like the 51s or something like that?
Maybe it would make perfect sense.
In Nevada. All right, Mullis. Well, what do you want to talk about? Golf? Yeah, that's exciting. Let's get jacked up and talk about some golf.
I mean, I just thought it would be appropriate.
Dorothea Forbrick joined the show yesterday.
Yes.
She was lovely to talk to. Heading out to Arizona to compete in the Barstool Sports Let Them Play Classic. And you got HV3 on the course. How do you pronounce the place in South Carolina one more time?
Kiowa Island.
Kiowa Island. Kawhi Leonard Island.
And it is rated the hardest golf course in the world.
Oh, by the way, so last weekend, what did the winner shoot, Molly? Was it like
22, I think.
That is nuts.
Yeah, and
what's your projection
plus
for the
2?
Really? Nobody goes par.
So the prevailing wind during all the practice days has been out of the east. They're saying it's going to shift directly the opposite direction. So everything they've been practicing is going to be obviously opposite. And they're playing this course as far back, or it will be the longest course in major history.
So is the PGA, usually it's the U.S. Open that tries to make it so difficult, right?
Yeah, well, and this is just part of the nature of the beast of having it at Kiowa. So the deal at Kiowa is, yes, it's long. There's water in play on 18 holes. Like, I've got several friends that are amateur golfers that have been and played this golf course, and they're like, it's a pretty place, but it's not a fun place to play golf. So, I mean, I think you're going to see very much a U.S. Open type outcome here. And again, Mark Leishman's kind of, I'm kind of hooking my horse to his wagon. I think, and they were talking about on PGA Tour Radio, and he controls the golf ball. He's got a great short game. George Spieth will be interesting because he does chip the ball, chip and putt real well. So there's going to be a lot of missed greens. You can just be fully planned for that. If we see the wind lay down, scores go up 25%. If the wind stays up like it typically does there, I think it's a +2 kind of deal, maybe even par.
Colin Morikawa won last year, and Brooks Koepka won the previous 2.
And Brooks Koepka's back in the field. He says he's healthy. He's hard to bet against in a major. Morikawa's got as clean a swing as anybody. I mean, it's
and Rory won on this course
9 years ago or something like that. 7 years
so it
ago.
has been a while.
But and Rory is kind of I think he's the odds-on favorite. But line-wise, but that's a hard thing to call when you got that number of great golfers going out on such a tough venue. And I almost feel like the guys that missed the cut will be really glad they don't have to play those last 2 days. Like, you know what? Like, hey, I hate I missed the cut in the major, but from where I was in the field, I had no chance anyway. So you know what? I'm just going to I'm going to go to the bar and maybe go play somewhere it's a little easier tomorrow.
Are you projecting a DeChambeau meltdown at some point with the way you're describing these?
It's always easier to predict him to melt down than him not to melt down, because history has proven that that's kind of his MO. He bombs it. If he can control it with the wind, maybe he can get away with it. But I don't see him being relevant, because I don't know that you can control the height of his ball flight in this kind of wind.
Mully, I'm trying to find, let's see, it was Friday, May the 7th, and you said 5 more no-hitters are coming this year.
There's been 2 since then.
There's been 1.
There's been 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that.
I can guarantee it.
No, there was a no-hitter that night, May the 7th, be with you, and then there's been 1 since then.
Turnbull. I think that, maybe I'm thinking of that one too.
The night up. So you still got 4 to go.
I'm going.
Why so many no-nos?
Because it's a dip and jack. First off, the Mariners can't hit, so they're good for at least another one.
I think they're hitting 199 as a team.
They're brutal. The composite batting average in Major League Baseball is like 216 right now. It's the worst it's ever been. It's just a dip and jack kind of deal. And what's so funny?
Is dip and jack?
Hit the ball out of the park.
Okay.
What's so funny is it's counter productive. So what they're trying to do is add more offense to the game. By trying to add more offense, they're adding more no hitters.
They're adding less hits.
Correct.
And maybe a few more runs just via the long
They got to come in bunches, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny. One thing before we totally leave golf, too, Clip.
I'm sorry.
There is a G Pro tour that's going on at Brook Valley this week, and the HV3 Foundation actually had a benefit tournament Monday that a bunch of guys we went out and played in,
like a pro-am type.
Yeah, it was a pro-am. So there were 3 amateurs, and we played with one of the G Pro tours. And man, we had a great time. It was Dylan Board was our pro, and great guy from Florida. He was an NAI national champ. And anyway, it was a great time, great show put on by Brook Valley, and I know Dale Pendry was a big part of that, and the foundation, the HV3 Foundation. So it was pretty cool. But if you get a chance, you go watch these guys play, and these guys are in the grand scheme of things, in the pecking order, if you relate it to minor league baseball, these dudes are like, they're in pro golf, but they're at the entry level of pro golf. We're not talking double A. No. We're talking instructional league. We're talking that kind of deal. But they are really, really good. It's amazing. And actually, former PGA player Smiley Kaufman was announced to be in the field, but I checked the leaderboard a little earlier today. Didn't see him. I don't know if he withdrew or what. And there was some concerns about what that field would look like because of the gas concerns and all these things. So, but anyway, yeah, that's going on at Brook Valley, and a pretty cool deal. And those guys are out there grinding, man. And it's that's a golf course that'll make you grind. They got to walk that place They play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so it's it's getting a little warmer, and they got to tote their bag and walk, and and they're playing real golf, playing it down, putting it out. There's no gimmies, and no rolling it or doing anything that the rest of us do. So anyway, pretty cool deal.
Good deal. Mike Mullis joining us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Mully, have you followed the White Sox Twins deal going on the last couple of nights?
Yeah, and it's
so 2 nights ago, I guess the game gets out of hand, right, and the Twins bring in a position player, and it's 3-0, and the White Sox hitter gets the take sign, and he lollipops a 44-mile-per-hour slow pitch softball up there, and the dude hits it 460 feet.
Right.
It looked awesome on TV, but what's the issue there? I guess the issue is within the White Sox, the player ignored the take sign from his coach. So that's an internal deal. But as far as a team who's beating down, they end up winning 16-4. What are they supposed to do? Quit?
Historically, a 3-0 swing with you got a big lead, you don't want to steal a base when you're up big. You don't want to, those are things that are kind of sportsmanship. See, that's one of the things everybody goes, all these unwritten rules are stupid. And I heard your comment.
They are.
There's also a certain amount of sportsmanship that applies, and that hey, we don't want to rub our opponent's nose in it. Now,
You're making a mockery of the game with that fat guy up there throwing 40 miles per hour, too.
Whoa, he's a big leaguer. He's playing third base for him today, and that's his second or third appearance this year.
Fat people can call people fat.
Well, and the guy you can't name the pitcher nor the hitter, nor can I. I mean, I know who they are. I can pick them out if I see them.
Well,
but
they're guys do with anything.
Well, because but my point of that was that they were so far down in the bottom of the barrel that it was just. Okay, now why they held him 3-0 and didn't want him to swing, I don't know. I honestly didn't know that part of it, but
Tony La Russa after the game was mad at his guy for ignoring the sign.
Right.
I just don't understand at that point. Does the guy need to get out on purpose? Like, what is he?
No, if he does that 3-1, it's kind of a different deal. If he does it 2-2, if he does, but a 3-0 count is kind of a hey, we've run up the white flag. But again, that's the nature of where baseball is right now. Is it's not the same game that it was 3 years ago. It's a totally different game, and in all accounts, it's definitely not the purest game.
Are we still on? All of our headphones just went out.
Yeah, I can take this off.
Can you hear us, Chandler? Can you hear us, Chandler? You can hear us?
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, the bottom line is that a lot of these unwritten rules have lasted over time because they're intended to be sportsmanship type things, and maybe they have gotten a little carried away. Now I don't know how sportsmanlike it is to throw a baseball at another guy, but that is what it is. That's the game policing itself.
Okay, I guess my main issue is and you kind of answered it. If he does that on 3-1, it's different than if you do it on 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0, you're kind of supposed to take that pitch and move on. And again, the other team.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Shirley Rhodes, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice job, Shirley.
Great job.
That was a NASCAR type pitch.
Call her first. Fixed NC.
Hey, Shirley, can you fix this cord cover down here too when you get a chance, so Troy doesn't call me asking me to do that?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
So I think I would equate it to like somebody has submitted or tapped out in UFC, and then you knock the crap out of them.
That's so completely different.
Well, it's.
I get it, but that is not the same at all.
Sure, it is.
All right, Mike Mullis joining us. Mullis,
I love it when if you don't agree, it's you just like you don't agree, so you're like, yeah, it's not the same.
You do like that, Mully?
Yeah,
a guy who always thinks he's right.
I am always.
You've never said, Clip, you know what? You're right about that, and I'm wrong.
I did on the home run thing. I said, oh yeah, that was the night off. I mean, the no-hitter thing.
Yeah, but that is a fact. I'm talking about an opinion.
Well, because your opinions suck. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were just like me. I don't like your opinion. You don't like mine. You just said during the break you didn't really like me.
Did I say that?
Well, kind of. Their company outside of work, if we're hanging out, you're like, well, don't really like you, but we have common interest.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome anytime.
Kind of makes the world go around, right?
Just give us a heads up if you're coming.
Mike Mullis joining us here. Let's see, anything else? Saw, and Mully, you did notify me of this yesterday. We were following it live on the show. Pitt Community College
went
close. On a nice run in their tournament to try to make it to the World Series. Went to extra innings, went back and forth in extra innings. But they end up losing to Patrick Henry, I believe. About 2 runs.
And what about? I mean, they fought hard in the ninth. Go into the ninth down 2. They had some opportunities there, and you could tell that the kids, the players were doing all that they could. They were battling, and sometimes it just happens that way. But all in all, it was. What I was really impressed by. I was kind of intermittently watching it on Facebook Live through a feed that Patrick Henry had provided, and they were pretty reasonable numbers. I mean, there was almost
Shirley
like
was watching
200 people or 170 some people, and so I think that's kind of a cool thing. And I was like, actually sitting there thinking, that's just the world right now, right? I mean, you see footage from Ring doorbells, you see everybody everywhere. There is a camera, but it was cool. Wasn't the greatest angle in the world. I would have loved some form of narration so you can kind of get a feel for what was going on. But
very similar to Packard's dad running the iPad at UCLA years ago.
Yeah, it's just, hey, we're gonna do the best we can. And but anyway, good season for the Dogs. This is the least that I've seen them play, and they were fairly restrictive with I guess coming down from the NJCAA about attendance. So I think they allowed a couple parents or a limited number per player. So I did sit outside the fence and watch a little bit, but good year for them. It's it's what you've come to expect from Tommy Eason and the Dogs. They're going to be right there every year, and any championship's going to have them involved at some level.
Once again, top story today regarding college baseball. The NCAA has announced local and state guidelines will guide capacity limits. The NCAA will not have attendance restrictions for postseason baseball and softball tournaments. That is great news for Pirate fans who have not been able to get out to Clark LeClaire this year. If the Pirates are hosting a regional coming up in a couple of weeks, Mully, should be a packed house.
Yeah, I did just see something, though, that the conference tournament in Clearwater is still on a restricted admission because of Major League Baseball's standards.
I was going to say, everything's open in Florida, right?
Yeah, because of Major League Baseball standards. So, interesting. But I think it said they were going to allow 22 or 2,500, something like that. I don't think there'll be a rush on the gate to, if you want to go down there and watch the Pirates play, I don't think getting a ticket will be a problem.
Couple minutes, and we'll let you go, Mully. What are your expectations for ECU down in Tampa this weekend?
You know what? Expectation would be 4-0. I think realistically, if they come out with 3 wins, that's a good weekend, and then it's the quick turn. And I think some of that's going to be dictated by what happens with Tulane and Cincinnati to make sure you secure. You do what you got to do to finish in that 1 seed or win the conference. After you've won that conference, you may be able to look ahead, maybe even going into Saturday's game. You may be able to kind of vary what your plan was in order to get ready for to go on Tuesday. So there's going to be some definite chess being played and trying to manage. You got to manage and win today, but now you're at the point of the season where tomorrow. Once you've clinched, tomorrow is more important than today.
Speaking of win the day, the Hurricanes playoff towels have been put on the seats at PNC Arena, Mully. It says win the day on their towel for Game 2 tonight.
Is that an Ellerby tribute?
It is. We're all motivated to win tonight. Did you see the scene on Monday night at PNC?
No, I didn't.
It was awesome. What do you do? Do you not go online or turn on the TV or anything?
It's just because I didn't see anything about UFOs and
these are big stories.
Yeah, I'm not a big hockey guy. I turned down tickets to Game 7 when they won the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
Yeah, and it wasn't that I
had no regret.
I none at all.
That's crazy.
But I've never. The Canes were kind of past my where I was.
You know what would be fun?
Tell me.
Me and you at PNC Arena, Colbert, watching hockey.
Well, let's go.
Let's do it, man.
Chandler's offended. Yeah, we need a driver.
I didn't say there was just me and him. We can have a third party to separate us when we start arguing in the second period.
I got very little to argue about when it comes to hockey because I don't know what's icing or offsides or clipping or I don't know what any of it is.
I'll sit between you two.
Mully is tough to please and even tougher to please. If I say, Mully, you're really going to enjoy this, he's going to go out of his way to not enjoy it.
That's not true,
But I think we would have a great time if we went. I had a blast. One of the best sporting events I ever went to was the playoff game 2 years ago. And I've seen a lot of great sporting events live.
I did go to a Charlotte Checkers game way back in the days, but I just don't. I know I've got friends that love it. They live and die by it. It's they talk about how fast paced it is, whatever. I just correct me if I'm wrong. They televise on Fox Sports South. Is that where you catch the Canes games?
Well, now Mully, it is called Bally Sports. They have changed the name to Bally Sports.
So for me, like 36. Like when I'm going, when I go, I go to 36 because they're convenient on the remote,
and you go to ESPN,
and then I'm going straight to 37. Unless I happen to catch, I'll watch college if there's a college event, college softball, college baseball. Or if I see one of the documentary kind of deals, I'll lock in if they But other than that, I'm a
Beyond the Glory.
Beyond the Glory.
Those on Fox.
Fran Healy or whatever. Then I'm going straight to 37.
We always joke that the Beyond the Glory guy used to record those while his wife and kid were sleeping because he'd be like, Ted Williams hit 400 in 1932.
You know what you used to could catch on that channel every now and was the home run derby, the old black and white home run derbies.
Boy, that sounds like fun. Mully, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it was good.
Nobody, I like giving it just as much as I like taking it, and nobody gives it like Mike Mullis.
What are we talking about?
Mully gives it better than anyone. Shirley, take us to break,
please.
See you later, Mike. Back with you with Brett Kennedy. Much more polite, much easier to talk to than Mike Mullis. More to go after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Professional wrestler action, Mike Jackson.
As soon as I walked out of that ring and back to the dressing room, the boss came to me and said, "Look, can you do the next 3 TV tapings for us?" I think they thought 71 years old, I'll just go out there and wallow around and not do anything. But, I'm diving through ropes. I'm walking the top rope. I'm doing hurricanrana head scissors. And it amazed them. And the whole locker room came out and gave me a standing ovation.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
The Tarboro River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tarboro River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroRiverBandits.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Here with Melissa from ENS Hemp Company. Melissa, tell us how your products and services can help people.
Well, for over 2.5 years, the team at ENS Hemp Company has been helping educate our community on the many benefits of our products. Our customers have seen great success dealing with everything from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. You can come in today and our staff can help you find the best products for your needs. You can visit us at Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue or enshempcompany.com.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
In studio today with Natalie Edwards from AG Home Solutions and eXp Realty. Natalie, you have a unique partnership because you work in the real estate market and also work with AG Home Solutions. How does that help your clients?
So it's interesting, the trends that we're currently seeing in real estate. Inventory is so low. We're seeing a high percentage of folks who want to renovate their spaces, perhaps add a home office because now they're working from home. And so they come to us with those design ideas and we're able to help them navigate through that.
What other trends are you seeing in the marketplace right now?
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing increased needs for home office space, folks being able to do virtual learning from home. So how can we redesign that space so it's functional? We're also seeing folks that do want to take advantage of this being a seller's market, and so they want to freshen up that space and get it ready to put on the market. And so we can come in and provide them with some good guidance on things that they might want to consider before they list their property.
For real estate or remodeling, how can folks contact you?
252-947-2526 or aghomesolutions.com.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Select Bank and Trust. Banking is banking until the service is not the same. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? Try Select Bank and Trust. Bank local. Bank select. SelectBank.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get educated and make prudent decisions about your financial future. Contact David Dom at Carolina Wealth Management today at 439-1344 for a free consultation. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on PRL, Hour 2 of today's program. We got a giveaway coming up in Hour 3 as we will open up the Pirate Radio Booty Bag. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Bryce Williams. Stay tuned for the voice, Jeff Charles, who will join us coming up in about 15-20 minutes or so. But right now, we'll head out to the Fixed NC Live line. Talk about what's going on locally and beyond in the world of sports with Brett Kennedy from WCTI 12. He joins us today on Pirate Radio Live. Brett, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Cliff. How are you doing?
Fantastic. And Brett, I know you've been busy following your social media. You have been to all kinds of local baseball games going on and maybe a little hockey, all kinds of stuff. So what have you been covering this week? What's been taking up most of your time?
So I actually was supposed to be off yesterday, but I switched my days off this week. Yesterday was kind of a busy day. So Ron Cook, the former Pamlico County football coach, is now going to be the head football coach over at Farmville Central. So he had his press conference for that yesterday, went over to Farmville Central and interviewed him. Found out he is the first ever African-American head coach in Farmville Central football history. So that's kind of cool. So I went and did that, and then
Shirley, Brett, Shirley's our resident Jaguar here. Shirley, I know folks are fired up about that coaching hire at Farmville.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while since Farmville Central has really been kind of relevant in the football program, so to speak. It's been quite a few years, and we're finally starting to see, some hope that we might be able to get back to some of, I guess you could say, our glory days.
Yeah, get some of the borrow some of those wins from the basketball program.
Yeah,
right?
No kidding.
Brett, you've covered a lot of those basketball nights there in Farmville.
Yeah, it's funny because we asked Ron Cook because Larry Williford was there too, and we said, well, did you tell him you're going to try to make this a football school now? And he kind of laughed at it. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's ENC's a better place when Farmville Central football is good. And, I mean, they were great back in the early 2000s and back in the 90s. But hopefully, I know Ron Cook, he's a passionate guy, and he'll get that team turned around. It'll take some time, but he's the right man for the job, so that's exciting there. And yeah, Clip, like you said, I went down to Beaufort last night and saw two of the best teams down in the 1A, 2A conference down there, Croatan and East Carteret, and those two teams went at it for 7 innings. That was a great finish. Croatan ended up winning 9-6. So that was a great game there. And then again, speaking of Pamlico County, they have a signing day on Friday. A couple football players are signing. I know Michael Poole, Trey Lloyd, and their great running back that they've had, Savon Tutt, Tank Tutt. All three of those guys are having their signing days on Friday. So yeah, a lot going on right now.
Brett Kennedy joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Brett, Hurricanes hockey going on tonight. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs in round 1 for Carolina as they take on the Predators. And Brett, I saw you tweet about it earlier this week. How about the madhouse that was PNC Arena on Monday night? Should be the same tonight as we get set for Game 2.
I tell you what, man, when I saw PNC Arena with I guess they kept saying it was 12,000 fans. It looked like it was more, and I'm pretty sure it was, but they weren't allowed to say. But but it was awesome to see PNC Arena just packed with Caniac fans. I mean, it was just awesome to see all the towels whirling around. The governor was there for the Hurricane siren to start off the first period. So that was awesome to see. It was nice to finally see that we're starting to finally get back to normal along those aspects. And, man, how about the Hurricanes? It was close through 2 periods there. I mean, everybody was kind of biting their nails a little bit going into that third period. But the Canes just came out, and how about the captain, Jordan Stahl, just leading the way, and to have a rookie goaltender in there and just still come out with a win. He played well. I mean, Hurricane fans have to feel great going into Game 2 tonight. But, I mean, you got to love it, man. I love the hockey playoffs. I love the NBA playoffs. This is a great time that we're in right now.
And great that fans can be able to see it. We saw earlier today, Brett, that the NCAA is lifting their 50% capacity restrictions they had initially put on postseason baseball and softball tournaments. And that is great news for Pirate fans who want to get into Clark LeClaire Stadium. There's been some fun game atmospheres this year so far, Brett, but nothing like it could be if that place is packed and the jungle's rocking. And hopefully we'll get that for a regional. Looks like we will, and that's really exciting. Now the Pirates just have to take care of business coming up against South Florida, win a few games in the conference tournament, and they will be hosting a regional coming up in a few weeks with a whole lot of people there to see it.
Yeah, and let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, anybody can beat anybody, and Cliff Godwin even said that too. He goes, "This isn't going to be an easy road. Like they still have work to do to even obtain this regional." But you're right. I mean, Clark LeClaire Stadium, that's one of the best college baseball just atmospheres in the entire country, and they will no doubt sell out every single game of that regional, and that is going to be good for baseball. That's going to be good for TV and ticket sales. So that should help in their favor if they're on the bubble for whether they're going to get a regional or not. But you're right; they've got a couple more games left to go. I don't see them having any trouble at USF. Maybe they lose one game, but I mean they battled through Cincinnati, so that they showed some grit on the road this past weekend, and I think they should be able to have the pitching staff and enough to get through USF and to get into this conference tournament and make some noise there. The only team in the conference tournament that I really see them possibly giving them some trouble is if they play Tulane, and they handled Tulane a week and a half ago. So, but yeah, that's really exciting to see that after all of this, even with the NCAA going, well, we're going to pick our own regionals this time, and we'll see who all gets it. Even with all that going on, ECU still has a great shot at a regional, and go Pirate fans. That is just awesome.
Brett, I always ask the local sports anchors this, especially when they're somewhat new in the profession. You have an opportunity to cover a regional at Clark LeClaire Stadium. What is the biggest sporting event you've been able to cover thus far, whether it be NCAA tournament, conference tournament, big college football playoff or bowl game, or I know you've covered some high school championships. What so far in your career have been the biggest events you've been able to be at?
Well, actually, this month it makes it 2 years since I've lived out here, and it's funny you mentioned that. Right when I started was right when the regional was happening.
Okay.
Baseball. So, yeah. I mean, that was awesome to see that, to see all the players dogpile on each other. That ranks up there. Covering the the ACC men's basketball tournament in Greensboro before everything got shut down.
Oh yeah.
Pandemic. That was awesome to see. I mean, just to see all of that, even before it all went to put there. That was awesome. Let's see here. Covering the Super Regional for baseball, I drove out to Louisville back in 2019 and got to cover baseball there. That was awesome. I'm trying to think. I mean, this wasn't a championship, but driving up and covering ECU football at Navy in Annapolis up there, that was awesome to see. So yeah, I'm trying to think of the Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament.
Yeah.
Getting to see Michael Jordan up close. That was crazy. And yeah, I mean, like you said, the high school football championships back to back. I mean, I covered Havelock last week at NC State, and then the very next day I went to Chapel Hill and covered Tarboro. So that was cool to cover those. So yeah, I mean, there's been some awesome things to cover out here, and I love the variety. That's another reason why I came out here. All the different opportunities that we get to cover sports out here, whether it be high school, college, professional. I mean, it's spectacular, man. It's a good market.
And Brett, I can't believe you've been here like almost 2 years now. that time flies.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
This month, I think it was this week, actually. This week is my 2-year anniversary from moving out here.
Wow,
So,
happy anniversary to you. Brett, I know, and you work alongside Mr. Local, Brian North, who really doesn't even have any favorite teams. He just covers and loves to cover the local aspect of pro sports, where guys he saw in high school now playing professional sports. How about your Chiefs get Cornell Powell in the draft and then add Mike Hughes to the roster? So a couple of local guys on the roster now with your NFL team. I know that had to fire you up.
it's funny you mentioned that about Brian, because he always gives me crap about being a homer. And he always goes, "Oh, Brett, look at this guy over here liking the Chiefs, being a homer." But yeah, it's funny. Brian doesn't like any teams. I don't know. Well, maybe one day we'll get him to like a team. Yeah, you're right. But it's awesome to see that all the 252 guys are going to the Chiefs. You've got, I went and interviewed Cornell Powell when he got drafted, the day he got drafted by the Chiefs, and I remember asking him, I was like, "What are you most excited about going to Kansas City?" And he goes, "Patrick Mahomes, of course." He goes, "I can't wait to get in there and work in the lab with this guy and come up with all these crazy routes." And he goes, "I can't wait to talk to Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman." And he goes, "Hopefully those guys will give me some speed training." But and then to get Mike Hughes, good for him, because I mean his career has been kind of declining with the Minnesota Vikings last couple of years, trying to get into the starting lineup. He's had injury problems with his neck, his torn ACL, his rookie year. So I look for him to get more playing time with the Chiefs this year, probably more in like a nickel position with him covering the slot receivers. We'll see if we push him outside and covering the 1 and 2 wide receivers. But then you also have Jaron Reed, who we also signed in the offseason on the defensive line, the Goldsboro product. You got a guy from Goldsboro, you got a guy from J.H. Rose, and a guy from New Bern High School on the Chiefs, and that will give me an excuse to run Chiefs highlights during my shows this fall. I cannot wait.
Good stuff. Brett Kennedy, WCTI 12, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Brett, I noticed you hadn't said anything about the Royals yet. We talked about them last time you were on the show. You don't have as much to talk about right now, right?
I really thought they would keep it up, and next time we talk, because I remember you said the last time we talked, you were going, "Oh well, I mean, it's not. We'll see how long they can keep that up." Well, yeah, it's been kind of a dry spell for them lately, so we'll see. They're only a couple games out of 500, and they're not. I mean, they can get a winning streak going and get right back into it, so they're not out of it. The season's not over yet. You've got a long season to go, but. You're right. They've hit kind of a dry spell lately, and we'll see what happens. It was really nice to see they're playing the Brewers right now, and in the outfield for the Brewers is former Royals center fielder Lorenzo Cain, who was making all those crazy plays in the outfield, crazy diving catches the year they won the World Series. So I actually got Lorenzo's autograph at spring training one year. The nicest guy. But it was cool to see him in Kansas City yesterday, like hugging Salvador Perez and Whit Merrifield and some of his old teammates. It's awesome to see like guys kind of return to where it all started. But yeah, hopefully the Royals can get back into it here soon. But I'm pulling for them, and I'm pulling for the Braves right now too. Hopefully they can get out of this rut.
Why'd you have to bring them up? We're talking about the Royals, not the Braves right now, Brett.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I know. But
it is a struggle in Atlanta right now as they lose to. They got Johnny Holstaffed by the Mets last night. Mets pitched 7 guys, went with a staff day and beat the Braves last night.
Oh man, yeah. Hopefully they can get out of this rut too, because they've got great hitting, but just we need to see more from their pitching staff and again, that kind of goes into the Wood Ducks. You need to get out to a Wood Ducks game if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Because you've got Acuna's brother who's playing on the team, Luis Angel Acuna, which is awesome. It's awesome to see him playing for the Town East Wood Ducks of all places. So.
Brett Kennedy, WCTI 12, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Brett, before we let you go, what's on the docket for the remainder of the week and this weekend as far as local sports you'll be covering?
Well, like I mentioned earlier in the show, we've got Pamlico's signing day on Friday. A couple players. Michael Poole is signing Trey Lloyd is signing, and Savon Tutt is signing. I'll be out there for that. And then it's cool, Granger Stadium on Friday is hosting a high school baseball game. Jones Sr. is playing Wallace Rose Hill, and I may or may not be playing the national anthem on the saxophone that day. We'll see if I go up a little bit. Brian Hanks has been like begging me to do it. So we'll see.
For folks that don't know, Brett, I believe was it the CBS March Madness theme that you play? You had a video of that on your Twitter.
Yeah, I actually played that right after the pandemic hit, and I'm really sad for getting March Madness, and so I thought I'd post that and try to make people feel better a little bit. And yes, I did. I did end up doing that the other day.
Wow! So yeah, we could have a national anthem from Mr. Sachs, Brett Kennedy, there coming up on Friday. Somebody get video of that. Brett, have your camera rolling while you're playing. Brett, I love your energy, enthusiasm, positivity. Always fun to have you here on Pirate Radio Live. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again soon, bud.
All right, sounds good, Cliff. Hopefully you get to go on vacation here pretty soon. I'm going on vacation next week in Colorado. I'm the best man in my best friend's wedding. So hopefully vacation season's almost here. You need to take some time off.
All right, sounds great. Yeah, I'll pass that along to the upper management here at Pirate Radio. Thank you, Brett. All right, there is Brett Kennedy. And once again, Mr. Positive and Mr. Awesome. Chandler was noting how many times he said awesome. He's just got an infectious personality. He's just fun to talk to.
No, I totally agree.
I love talking to the guy.
Yeah, he's full of energy and positivity, and I totally love it.
Yeah, he's not old and bitter and beat down like myself. So anytime somebody can coming off Mr. Cloud over the head, Mike Mullis.
I know.
I needed that conversation.
Definitely a pick-me-up. Could you imagine Brett Kennedy and Cy Seymour in the same room?
I tell you what.
You would be high.
Brett, you're the best kid. You're not a good kid.
You are the best of all time.
You're the
when
best
it comes
kid.
to kids being good.
That would be a tough conversation.
Oh, my
Jeff.
goodness. I mean, you would just start floating. You would just be so high of happiness.
We got to get Cy on the show soon to talk about something. Anything.
Yeah.
ECU basketball? I don't know. But man,
there is some news starting to come out of the offices dealing with recruiting and other things like that. So
players being offered, maybe some signings. So, all right, let's get a break in. We'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles, when we return on Pirate Radio Live here on this Wednesday. Back with you after this.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip? American Airlines has recently added more flights in and out of PGV. Book today and enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport. American Airlines, now with more flights available at PGV. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Sam Jones, and we're open and here to serve you with some of the best whole hog barbecue, chicken, turkey, ribs, and homemade sides every day for lunch and dinner. There are 3 easy ways to enjoy Sam Jones barbecue. Swing by our drive-thru window or try one of our 2 curbside takeout options by calling in your order at 689-6997 or ordering online at samjonesbbq.com. We love Eastern North Carolina, and we invite you to come by and enjoy some great tasting Sam Jones barbecue today.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. It's always sad to see a great player decline. I'll have some thoughts on a future Hall of Famer next.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
You can't outwork us. We all have this passion for this radio station, but we also have a passion that, our names are attached to this thing, and we're not going to let this thing slip through our fingers. So I think that's really the foundation of our success, is that we work harder than anybody else.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers has had a Hall of Fame career. He entered this season with an opportunity to achieve 3,000 hits and hit 500 home runs in the same season, a feat that has never been done. Sadly, Father Time at age 38 is catching up to the big guy. He's had a lot of injuries the past few years, and it has been painful to watch. The problem the Tigers have, and it is a big problem, Cabrera makes $30 million per year, and the contract runs for 3 more years. When the late owner of the Tigers, Mike Ilitch, gave Mickey an 8-year, $248 million deal, it looked good at the time. He was one of the premier players in the game. But today, he's an old ball player well past his prime who can't catch up to a fastball anymore. It is another reminder that Father Time is undefeated. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Select Bank and Trust. Banking is banking until the service is not the same. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? Try Select Bank and Trust. Bank local. Bank select. SelectBank.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Villa Verde on 10th Street and Villa Verde Dos by the hospital are open for you, serving unique and healthy dishes from the Dominican Republic. Order online at myvillaverde.com or the Villa Verde app. Order a family meal that feeds 6 to 7 people, and they'll have it ready for curbside pickup today. Whether it's dine-in or takeout, Villa Verde is a platform for good. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, hour 2 of PRL here on a Wednesday. Looking forward to talking to Big Bryce Williams coming up at 5 o'clock on today's show. We'll have an ECU report here, what Cliff Godwin had to say on Tuesday's Zoom. Cliff joined us Tuesday on Pirate Radio Live. If you missed that show, you can check it out online. Great hour with Cliff Godwin as he says whatever he's thinking, and it's very refreshing to hear that from a coach. And talked about the team, talked about stuff going on beyond the team, talked about the attendance for NCAA regionals and how we needed a common sense committee to get together, and maybe we get some fans in the stands for a regional. Well, common sense has prevailed apparently, because the NCAA announcing that the restrictions they had 50% for postseason softball and baseball tournaments has now been lifted. So it's up to the state, which is good news here in the state of North Carolina, because we should be able to pack the house at Clark LeClaire Stadium if indeed the Pirates do end up hosting a regional. All right, we'll talk some Pirate baseball and more right now as we head out to the Fixed NC Lifeline and visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. He joins us on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Jeff, how you doing?
Cliff, I'm doing great. Hope you are.
Yes, sir, doing well. And voice, since your time in Michigan, we've had a lot of bad things to say about the Detroit Tigers. Maybe we should talk good about the Tigers. How about a no-hitter last night as Spencer Turnbull has a no-hitter against Igo's Mariners, who have been no-hit once again this season. I believe I read that their team batting average is at 199 right now, so they are struggling to hit the ball, and that was good for Turnbull and the Tigers last night as we see a no-hitter late night in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's a shame it didn't happen on the East Coast or in the Eastern Time Zone clip because more people could have seen it, including yours truly. I watched the Tigers just about every night, and of course it was a late start last night. I did watch the first 3 innings. Like that Turnbull was going to throw a no-hitter. But here's a guy that has kind of resurrected his career. He had a 3-17 season in 2019.
Man.
And even though he didn't pitch as badly as that record would indicate, he still lost 17 games. He's always been a guy with a good arm, and it's always been a matter of, is he really going to put it all together? And last night he did, and he's having a good season this year. I was listening to the sports reports this morning up here, and it is the 8th no-hitter pitched in the history of Detroit Tiger baseball by 6 different pitchers. Justin Verlander threw 2 no-hitters while he was with the Tigers. So it had been a while, and the Tigers are playing better. Cliff, you mentioned we have been pretty rough on the Tigers this year, and rightly so, because they had a miserable April and really not a very good start to the month of May. But they are now 7-3 in their last 10 games, and they are playing better. Their pitching has been good. Their defense is a little bit sketchy game to game, and then their offense to some games is just non-existent. But give them credit. They've come through some tough times, and they're playing some pretty good winning baseball now. And Turnbull at age 28, he's etched in the record books now with that no-hitter.
Jeff Charles joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Speaking of good pitching, how about these numbers, voice? 8-0, 87 strikeouts to 16 walks, 1.47 ERA. Opposing hitters are hitting 180. Those are the numbers this year for ECU ace Gavin Williams, who has been phenomenal to open up series for the Pirates. We saw it again last week on the road at Cincinnati. Hopefully we'll see it coming up on Thursday when the Pirates open up their season against South Florida. And Jeff, it's great anytime you can have an ace on the mound like that. Really gets you excited about postseason baseball when you're in a regional, potentially a super regional. You got to have that front line pitching, and for ECU, they've got it in Gavin Williams. There's some question marks beyond Gavin, of course, but he has been spectacular this year, Jeff, and is about a week or two away, I think, from becoming the AAC pitcher of the year.
I would think so, Cliff. He has had a great year, a really fine young man. So happy to see him have this kind of success this year because it's not been easy for him in past years, as you well know. So this is the year he's put it all together. And, you know, when you get to the elite teams in college baseball, Cliff, not only do they have one guy like Gavin Williams, the elite teams going to the College World Series usually have 2 guys like that.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the Vanderbilts of the world and the other schools who have recently won the College World Series, they've got like 2 frontline guys. Auburn a couple of years ago, Casey Mize, who's with Detroit, and another pitcher was their number 2 guy, and he's pitching now for the Cubs, and they had that 1-2 punch. So, yeah, it's really important to have the second guy. You need the first guy, obviously, but if you can have 2 hammers at the top end of your rotation, then you're really in business, and hopefully the Pirates will find that second guy once they get into the tournament and also, of course, into the NCAA tournament as well. So, yeah, Gavin's been great, and this Pirate baseball team, Cliff, has just had a phenomenal year. They've been terrific, and hats off to Cliff Godwin and the players. They can't win every game. I know there are fans out there that expect them to win every game, but that's totally unrealistic. And they've had a wonderful season, a chance now to win the regular season championship in the AAC, and then stay in Florida and get ready for the tournament next week, and hopefully win the tournament next week, get a good seed, get a regional host, and go on from there.
And, Jeff, you had that podcast with Pat Watkins, and it was really eye-opening to hear the numbers he put up his final year at ECU. We had Bryant Packard hit 400 a few years ago, but the numbers that Connor Norby's putting up this year, similar to that Pat Watkins year. He's hitting 426. He has 40 RBIs on the year. He is second on the team with 12 home runs, and he's hitting there in that leadoff spot, kind of out of necessity. Cliff Godwin didn't have him there at the beginning of the year. After some injuries, some struggles from some other guys, he moved him to the one hole, and he has been fantastic. And I think about that, Jeff, because I remember Pat Watkins. I was younger, but when you talked to him on that Pirate Radio podcast, which folks can download via iTunes and check it out themselves, those numbers were astonishing, and we're seeing some similar numbers from the Pirates second baseman this year.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Pat hit 445, and as you mentioned, Connor's batting 426, so he's right there in the ballpark with him. And I've always said that for 1 year, Pat Watkins had the greatest season ever in the history of Pirate baseball, but Connor is right there with him, so congratulations to him. I'm thinking off the top of my head now, you have to go back and look, but I think Pat hit 17 home runs that year. So he had a fantastic year, and Connor's having a great year. It'll be really interesting to see where Connor and also Gavin Williams get drafted. I think they're very high on the draft boards with Major League Baseball scouts. So that'll be the next step after the Pirates season is over, and we wish those guys the best. But there have been so many great players down through the years for Pirate baseball. It's been a beacon of light for this entire athletics program for years and years. As you well know, Cliff, you go back and the guys won an NAIA national championship at East Carolina when the Pirates were an NAIA program, and that was a big deal back in the day. And then, of course, right on through the Hal Baird years, and Coach O, of course, still the all-time winningest baseball coach in the history of Pirate baseball, had the great run, of course, and then Keith LeClaire, and now Cliff Godwin. I mean, there's just been such a great program down through the years, and one that's, as we all know, has been right at the top as far as attendance is concerned, too. So, a lot to be proud of with that Pirate baseball program.
Jeff, some news from Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, earlier today. Not quite news, but something to keep an eye on. He says the NCAA is expected to announce that the baseball and softball championships will allow 100% capacity if local and state guidelines allow for it. This would be huge for East Carolina and the Pirate fans being able to pack Clark LeClaire Stadium. It's been a pretty good atmosphere throughout the year for the amount of fans they've been allowed to get in. But if you can get a full house there for an ECU regional here in Greenville, man, it's going to be wild. And Jeff, speaking of that, man, it really felt like we were somewhat back to normal on Monday night. Did you catch the Hurricanes game at PNC Arena? They said it was 12,000. It sounded like and felt like it was full, but that was a tremendous atmosphere. And really, I've watched the Braves in the playoffs, my Washington football team in the playoffs, but they didn't have any fans there, Jeff. So it finally felt real Monday night seeing that atmosphere at PNC Arena.
Yeah, I did see that clip where they had 12,000, which is roughly two-thirds full. And, of course, the Hurricanes play again tonight, and you would expect at least 12,000. So, yes, it's getting back to normal. It's been a long haul, as we all know, but you can see things returning to some form of normalcy, not only in North Carolina, but across the country in a lot of states. Michigan is still, where I am right now, a little bit behind the curve with some of the other states around the country. But, yes, and the thing about it is, Cliff, I mean, people are just chomping at the bit. I mean, they've been cooped up for a year now, and they just want to get out and be entertained and go to sporting events and do all the things they were doing before the pandemic hit. So I think you're going to see in the sports world all across all sports this year just tremendous enthusiasm because people just want to get back out and get back to supporting their teams. And it'll be interesting to see in baseball, not only in Major League Baseball now, but college baseball and the minor leagues, once they really start getting cranked up with big crowds again. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think sometimes you have to have something taken away from you before you truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
You've had sports taken away from us, Cliff. You know, we took it for granted all these years. You just got to get up and go about your day and go to a game somewhere, and then all of a sudden a year ago plus, all that stopped. So the games are coming back now, and maybe if there was any silver lining to this whole thing, it's that we might appreciate it a little bit more now.
No doubt. Well said. Jeff Charles joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Jeff, we talk a little golf every Friday. Mark Greenhelge, the host of the Golf Shop radio show, Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. And it's a 10 to 15-minute segment we do every week and kind of get up to date on what's going on in the golf world. I've paid attention to golf this week and will be coming up this weekend as Harold Varner III will go at it at the PGA Championship. And Jeff, you're kind of out of pocket a little bit. Did you follow the story about the women's golfers who went down to the NCAA regionals at Baton Rouge trying to make it to an NCAA championship? And Dorothea Forbrigg was one of those golfers from ECU, and they canceled that tournament, said the course was not playable at a championship level, and then someone from Barstool Sports, Riggs, put together a tournament, kind of a makeshift tournament in Arizona, and the girls that were unable to play in that tournament are going to play out there coming up on Thursday and Friday, and Dorothea is able to go out there. We talked to her yesterday on Pirate Radio Live. I thought it might have a happy ending, and it looks like it will. It will not be for a national championship, but Dorothea and the girls are really fired up to go out there and compete, and that was a great story. So we'll be keeping an eye on her, Jeff, and also seeing if HV3 can make another run in the PGA Championship like he did a couple years ago.
Yeah, great to see all these Pirates doing things, and HV3, have gotten to know him over the years, Cliff, and what an outstanding young man he is. We pull for him each and every weekend, and you mentioned Dorothea, what a great career she's had at ECU as well. You know, anytime you can get that East Carolina Pirate name out there on a national basis like Harold's been able to do, and like she's been able to do recently in women's golf, I mean, it just helps your entire program. It just raises the profile of your program. And so anytime you see that purple and gold out there, it's great, and we wish her the best.
Jeff Charles joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Boy, brutal night for the Hornets. It seems like that happens every time they're on national TV. Jeff, they got blown out by the Pacers last night, and the Boston Celtics beat the Wizards in the first night of the play-in tournament. I think it'll have some eyeballs tonight because LeBron James and the Lakers taking on Steph Curry and the Warriors. Jeff, sometimes change is good. Sometimes it's why are we doing this? Not sure how I feel about this play-in tournament deal. I don't know. I'm kind of fine with the way it was with the 8 teams in each conference. But I don't know. Are you going to be paying attention to this coming up tonight, Voice?
Well, first of all, I watched the entire Hornets game last night.
Oh, gosh. What'd you lose the bet, Jeff? That's rough.
I tell you how bored I was last night, doesn't it?
Yeah, really.
Entire game. It was brutal. I thought I was watching an East Carolina game on the road against Houston or something.
Yeah.
But, my goodness, they were down 39 points, Clip, at one point in the second half of that game. And, that game was basically over in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
McDermott came out, for Indiana, and he was just lighting up. I think he hit 4 threes in the first 5 minutes of the game, and they just never looked back from that point. They just blew the Hornets out. So, the commentators were very critical of Charlotte last night, saying they just weren't ready to play, and they didn't give a great effort. I don't know if it was all of that or Indiana, they just caught them on a hot night, but it was like going into a buzzsaw in Indianapolis last night. So, I would think there's a little head-scratching going on with the Hornets. Now, they're really young, as you know, Cliff. You follow them on a daily basis. And they're very, very young. They were 6 years under 500 this year at 33 and 39. And I think they've got a good core of players. But, boy, last night wasn't their night. And then going into that Celtics series with the Wizards, I really thought, even though it was on the road, I really thought the Wizards would win that game. And then Jason Tatum came up with 50 points for Boston. He was unbelievable. And so the Wizards, you kind of like them because they're so exciting to watch with Westbrook and Beal. But, they get knocked out. So here are the Celtics, and they've had their ups and downs this year. But they put it together last night. You're right. Anytime it's Steph Curry against LeBron James, it's really a good game. Those guys have matched up a lot in past years. And, in fact, they've had a couple little dust-ups, if you remember, Clip, down through the years. They've gotten each other's faces a little. So there's a little bit of a rub there, and Steph has been incredible here the last couple of months. And LeBron's LeBron. So, yeah, that's going to be a fun game to watch tonight.
Yeah, and we'll see if the Lakers can flip that proverbial switch as they get ready for the playoffs. If you want to watch some good basketball here in the next few weeks, just check out a Western Conference playoff game. You got some fun series with Luka and the Mavericks taking on the Kawhi and the Clippers. You got the Blazers, Damian Lillard, my favorite non-Hornet, taking on the Nuggets. I love watching Jokic play, so it's going to be a lot of fun, Jeff. It's kind of top-heavy in the East with the three-headed monster for Brooklyn and what the Bucks with Giannis and also the Sixers. But out west, it's anybody's ball game. The Jazz, the top seed there, Jeff. You got the Phoenix Suns who won all those games this year. So it's going to be really fun to follow, especially on the western side of things.
It's good to see Phoenix back, too.
Yeah.
Because they had a great run for a number of years, and then they kind of disappeared, and now they've come back. And did I ever tell you my Damian Lillard story?
Refresh my memory. Maybe you have, but let's hear it again. I don't remember.
Our Damian Lillard story is when the Pirates won the CIT championship at Weber State, and Damian Lillard, of course, went to Weber State. He was at that game, and he was sitting right alongside us as we broadcast the game that night from Utah. And I can still remember seeing him sitting close to us, and they introduced him at halftime of the game, and he brought the house down because, as most Pirate fans will remember, that was a full house that night. I mean, that was a sellout. That place was packed with 10,000 when the Pirates beat Weber State to win the CIT championship, and Damian Lillard was there, and he was a star then, but probably not as big a star as he is today. A number of years have gone by, as we know, since then. And Damian Lillard has taken his place as, one of the premier players in the NBA.
He is Mr. Clutch for sure, and that night he saw Akeem Richmond hit the clutch shot at the end of the game. Visiting with the voice, Jeff Charles. Jeff, always enjoy talking sports with you. Any news going on in the wrestling world we should know about before we wrap up today?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that clip. Another sad note, did you see where Don Kernodle passed away?
I did not. In fact, you can get in touch on that. But also, since we last talked, I know New Jack passed away, who I didn't know a lot about, but I saw his Dark Side of the Ring on Vice, and I don't even know the words to begin to describe the kind of person and character New Jack was. But he passed away, and Jeff, I'm sorry, who else did you say there?
Yeah, Don Kernodle passed away a couple of days ago. Now, back in the day, Don Kernodle was Sergeant Slaughter's tag team partner.
Oh, okay.
And he was a good singles wrestler as well. I mean, he had about a 3-year run, and then WWF back in the 80s, and then he was in WCW. Kind of a mid-card guy, but he wrestled a number of times at Madison Square Garden for WWF, and then he had that great tag team run with Sergeant Slaughter. And he's basically a local guy, Clip. He's from Burlington, and he was a great athlete at Elon. And then after his days at Elon, he went into professional wrestling and got started with the Crockett's promotion in North Carolina, in Charlotte, and wrestled in our neck of the woods for a long time. And then retired a number of years ago and became a deputy sheriff in Alamance County. And in fact, he had an independent wrestling promotion. I went over there years ago and watched a show that he had in Burlington. And he owned that independent operation there, and then had moved on, basically, had retired from wrestling and finished up his career as a deputy sheriff in Alamance County. So it was very sad to see the news a couple of days ago that he passed away. He was 71 years old. He was having heart issues. And we lost another one, Clip. It's sad. Sometimes it seems like these wrestling deaths come in bunches. You don't think about them for a while, and then all of a sudden, like you said last week, it was New Jack, and this week it's Don Kernodle. And so, yeah, it's sad. And as we've talked so many times before, a lot of times wrestlers don't live very long lives.
Jeff Charles joining us today. You're right about that, Jeff. And here's some news. I missed this earlier today. I'm glad I caught it before I let you go. You are an AEW Dynamite fan. Did you see this, Jeff, that AEW Dynamite will be moving to TBS in 2022? A new show called AEW Rampage will debut on TNT on Friday, August 13th. So it appears they're going to have 2 shows now. Dynamite will move to TBS in 2022, and coming up on Friday, August 13th, AEW Rampage will debut on Friday night. So, Jeff, you hope they're not getting too big too soon, but I know you're happy with the AEW product, and they're just doing bigger and more things right now, it appears.
They are, but I'm glad you mentioned that to me because I had not heard that, so that's news to me. They put on some really good shows on Wednesday nights. I just think it's a really good product, and I think it's growing and getting better. In fact, last week, they mentioned on their show that the Dynamite show, like a week or two ago, was the highest-rated cable program that week on television.
Wow.
So you can see what they're doing with the eyeballs. I mean, a lot of people are watching. It's a good product. They know how to market it. They know how to promote it. It's a lot of fun to watch. And, for people who grew up in the WCW days and the Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat days and Dusty Rhodes and all of that we all grew up with in the Carolinas, Mid-Atlantic region, some of those folks have kind of gotten away from wrestling, I think, a little bit, like my generation has.
Mm-hmm.
But my advice to those guys always is just give this AEW a look. Wrestling's one of those sports, Clip, that you don't really turn it on for 1 week or 2 weeks and really find out what the storylines are and really follow it. So you really have to watch it like week after week for quite a while to get into the wrestlers and what the promotion is all about. So, I know a lot of people that I've talked with, some of my friends, they'll watch it once or twice and then they just won't turn it back on again. But if you do watch it week to week, I think you'll become a wrestling fan again because the athleticism of all these kids today, I mean, it was great back in the day when we were coming up and watching wrestling, but those guys were great in their day, but they can't do what these young kids are doing today athletically. It is amazing to me to watch these guys, and almost all of them are cut out of that same mold of being just an incredible athlete. And it's so much harder now to make it in the wrestling business than it was years ago. I mean, years ago, you might find an old wrestler somewhere, and he would train you, and you train for a couple of months, and then they'd throw you in the ring. But now it's like any other professional sport where you've got to go to these training centers, and you've got to make cuts, and you've got to do this, and you got to do that before you even get a chance. So it's a lot harder now for these kids to make it. And to make it, you've got to be really, really talented. And these kids in AEW now, they're some really talented kids.
Jeff Charles joining us. Jeff, we'll save it for another day and for when you're ready to talk about it. But we need to do a deep dive at some point in the future on what you've got going on wrestling-wise, especially when it all comes to fruition. So I've heard some good things about it, Troy, and some guys talking behind the scenes over here about it. But I'm excited, Jeff. So whenever you're ready to discuss that, we'll do it here on Pirate Radio Live one day.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. It's going really well. I will say that. We do a wrestling company that we have put together, and we are promoting wrestling shows in the Midwest, and it's going great. I mean, I'm quite frankly been overwhelmed with the response we've had, and we'll talk about it. I'm very open to talk about it, and we'll certainly do that in the future.
Great. Looking forward to that. Jeff Charles joining us today. Jeff, have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, Cliff. Thanks so much.
Always fun to visit with the voice here on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We will take another time out, come back, and wrap up Hour 2. Coming up in Hour 3, we'll talk to Bryce Williams. So we'll talk some football. We'll also talk some Pirate baseball. Hear what Cliff Godwin had to say before he left town to Tampa. Pirates and Bulls of South Florida going at it Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Take a time out, come back. More to go on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers through the year of COVID. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. Stop by AJ's on Monday for open mic, music on the patio on Tuesday, sports trivia with me, Clip Brock, on Wednesdays, and music bingo on Thursday. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Hey, Pirate Nation, Big Ed Watkins here from Ed Watkins Marine. You use the internet to shop for clothes to cars, so why not use it to shop for boats? Get your best price now at Ed Watkins Marine. We are located in Lake Norman, but we will deliver anywhere in North Carolina. From offshore center consoles and bass boats to just cruising or fishing the lakes of the intercoastal waterways, we have something for everyone. Go online now at Ed Watkins Marine and see our selection. Stick with a pirate and shop Ed Watkins Marine for all your next boats.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Select Bank and Trust. Banking is banking until the service is not the same. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? Try Select Bank and Trust. Bank local. Bank select. SelectBank.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, looking at some cool pictures from the Let Them Play Golf Classic presented by Barstool Sports out in Arizona. And Dortea Forbrig from East Carolina is a part of that tournament. And they are, I believe, doing practice rounds today. And then they will compete coming up on Thursday and Friday. And Dortea was really excited about it. And we talked to her on Tuesday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, let's hit a little bit of that conversation with Dortea. She joined us on the program yesterday. Well, let's talk about what's going on here recently. So you went to compete at the Baton Rouge Regional as an individual for the NCAA tournament. That was canceled due to course conditions, and of course there's a video that went viral of them announcing that the tournament was going to be canceled, and all of you girls were out there wondering what the heck is going on. And take us back to that day, because you're trying to play one more final tournament, advance to the NCAA championships, and you're told you can't play. What was that initially like for you, Dorothea?
It was definitely very disappointing. I think that word sums it up more than anything. Obviously, I knew that it might be my last event, and so to have it end like that without even getting to play was very heartbreaking and disappointing. It was just the way that you saw that they didn't put any effort in. Was kind of the breaker for me that kind of made me the most upset. Because the 2 prior days, it was very sunny out and like 80, 90 Fahrenheit, and we were allowed to use the practice facility. So obviously every player and every coach was on the golf course, and I actually walked 9 holes with my coach, Cece Buford, and she and Robbie also walked the back 9 along with other coaches, and none of us saw anybody out there working on the course. And so like, one thing is, I mean, that's happened before, and it's going to happen again, that a round gets canceled because of conditions or bad weather. But when you can tell that there's no effort put in to actually make it happen, that was what was the most disappointing for me. So getting to play this week, obviously, is very cool, and with all the attention that the event has gotten and the way that Barstool has put up the event, I'm super excited, and I think a lot of the other players are too.
I talked to, I asked Ryan Robinson, would you be able to compete? This was last Thursday. This was last Friday, I believe, and and he said that there still had to be some conversations from a compliance standpoint. So how quick was the turnaround, Dorothea, from you not being able to compete in Baton Rouge to you knowing that you would be able to go out to Arizona this week?
I mean, the day that we traveled home, the news about this event showed up on social media, and first me and Coach were like, is this really happening? And then later that night, we talked about it again, and we were like, wow, this is definitely happening. And so that put a huge smile on my face, and it put a huge smile on my coach's face. And I mean, this tournament it's all about fun and just getting to play and do what we all love to do. And so it's just going to be, I think it's going to be a very fun and memorable experience.
That's fantastic. Talking to Dorothea Forbrick on Pirate Radio Live today. Dorothea, and we can't wait to follow you later on this week and see how you do. Once you're done as a golfer at East Carolina University, are you going to continue to play golf? Is that in your future plans?
Yes, I've been working hard for that the last couple of years. I really want to play as a professional, and I'm preparing to play in the LPGA school qualifier, which will be in the first stage will be in California in August. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Dorothea Forbrick joining us yesterday on Pirate Radio Live. You can check the interview out in its entirety. PR927fm.com. It's on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube. It's everywhere. She was great to talk to, and hope to be able to speak with her once she does become a professional golfer. That'd be awesome. Got Harold Varner III ready to tee off at the PGA Championship coming up on Thursday, and you just heard Dorothea there. She has plans to attempt to make the LPGA Tour one day down the road. All right, we will wrap up Hour 2 and get you ready for Hour 3 of today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. We got Bryce Williams joining us, so we'll talk a little football. We will talk some Pirate baseball as well, as ECU gets set for a Thursday doubleheader coming up against South Florida. All right, we will head on to Hour 3. We'll make you a winner in Hour 3 as well. Back with you after this.
Pirate Radio podcast.
Brian Fields, Michael Vaughn, and Jake Allen. I've watched a lot of baseball. That's still one of the most fun teams I've watched play.
I think one thing that gets overlooked with that team is how good their defense was. I mean, that's about, I think we made 3 errors in the first game of the district, and I don't know if we made another one the entire summer.
Yeah, I think Carson made first 2 errors the very first game versus Rocky Mount at shortstop. And I can honestly say I don't think he made another error through states, regionals, or Little League World Series at shortstop.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero, 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals. Reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
You can paint these peaches purple!
Classic sports moments never get old, and neither does classic food from CPW's. CPW's classic menu is back with all of your favorites like tortellini CPW's, Cajun chicken and pasta, classic lasagna, the garbage pizza, the stromboli, calzone, Atlantic salmon, the Cajun fried shrimp wrap, and more. Start every meal off with your favorite beverage and CPW's fresh baked bread and garlic butter. CPW's, serving classics in Greenville since 1995. Stanton Square near the hospital.
The Tarboro River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tarboro River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroRiverBandits.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 at 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Keep your vehicle clean with the Pirates Cove Car Wash Fast Pass. The Fast Pass allows you to have unlimited car washes every month at every location. Pirates Cove Car Wash has locations in Greenville on 10th Street, Street, Fire Tower Road, and Memorial Drive. Pirates Cove Car Wash, the ultimate car wash experience, and the official car wash of ECU Athletics. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clipper Rock.
All right, Shirley Rhodes, welcome back into the program. Hour 3 of today's show. Got the Pirate Radio booty bag opening up later on this hour. Got some comments from Cliff Godwin to get to, and we will talk to Bryce Williams, who joins us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Bryce, how you doing, man?
Good. How are y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
I am doing great. Chandler, Shirley, he asked how y'all were doing.
I'm doing all right.
Awesome.
All right, good to hear. Good to hear. Bryce, I reached out to your former teammate Shane Carton to join us on the show today. He said he couldn't today, but definitely will soon. He said he would really enjoy coming on while you're on. So, we'll have story time with Bryce and Shane a Wednesday in the near future. And you were talking off the air there. Shane is doing some coaching out in Idaho, and I guess invited you to come out sometime and meet the team, be with the team a little bit. And I was going to ask you, have you I don't know, have you worked like any football camps? Have you done any coaching type stuff since you've been out of football as a player?
No, unfortunately not. And I mean, I often think about it a lot, maybe not, about maybe helping out with a high school around here locally, maybe once or twice a week, just to kind of help, teach the guys what I know and give back and everything. And it's one of the things that I've definitely thought about. I think maybe later on in as I get older, maybe get into being a high school coach, position coach, nothing crazy, just something to do again. But right now I'm obviously busy, but I've definitely thought about how can I give back to the kid, the young kids. I mean, like I said, if I knew what I knew now then, I mean, how much even better of a player I would be. True. In all aspects of obviously the offensive side of the ball. And it's something I think about. I don't know when I'm gonna bite the bullet and say, hey, I'll be willing to sort of maybe start my own thing and train some high school kids in the summer and have their DB buddies come out and work them, even if a DB coach or whoever would want to do the opposite, do one-on-ones and just things like that. I've definitely thought about it. It's just a matter of maybe when I'm going to bite that bullet.
Mike Houston football camps are coming up this summer. Maybe you can go out there and be a special assistant or maybe be an instructor. I remember when I went to the camps back in like 2014 for the long snapping, they would have former players. Charlie Coggins was our instructor. And then I went to the one like a year or two before, and it was Wilson Rayner, another former Pirate. So I think that would be pretty cool, too.
Yeah, I would definitely, obviously I know the coaches, so I mean, I think that'd be definitely something cool if they reach out to me and would want me to help in the offensive side of the ball with the receivers, slash tight ends. That would be really fun, to be with the little with the younger guys again and obviously just be around football.
And you've said in the past too that you would enjoy the technique part of it, the teaching, the position group stuff more than the rah-rah head coach stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think just to, like I said, just teaching the skill aspect, fundamental skill aspect of the game. Because at the moment I'm like, I'm not much of an X and O's kind of guy. I'm more just when I see a situation, being able to coach off of that with the fundamentals. So that would definitely be, I feel like, the role I would want to take. If I ever was to get on a team or help out with somebody.
First things first, kids. If you score a touchdown and you're on the field goal team, make sure to stay on the field and don't go off to the sideline.
Exactly. Don't get too excited.
Spoken from experience there. Chandler, what kind of season are you expecting from Cam Newton in New England? And does Mac Jones start in 2021?
Man, this is interesting. I definitely believe there's going to be a quarterback competition. I think maybe this is something that Cam Newton needs. Maybe he needs somebody to come in here and kind of push him along, because last year he really didn't have anybody else.
Jarrett Stidham didn't do the trick.
No, so you got a guy, the 15th pick, Mac Jones, coming into New England. A highly touted draft pick coming out of Alabama. I believe this is something maybe that Cam Newton can get kick-started with. I mean, Cam Newton's been down in the dumps for the past couple of years, obviously fighting injuries, and now he was on a new team last year. Maybe this can be an advantage for Cam, but I believe there is a new quarterback in the quarterback room for New England.
Well, that's why I brought it up. I saw today that Hoyer the Destroyer, Brian Hoyer, is in New England, and we should say back in New England.
That made me scratch my head because I was trying to think about how many times has he been in New England. This is his third stint as a Patriot.
He was there from 2009 to 11, then went to the Steelers, Cardinals, Browns, Texans, Bears, and Niners, back to the Patriots, 17-18, Colts in 19, Patriots, once again, 2020, and I guess they re-signed him, and he joins the team. So now they have 4 quarterbacks. I don't know if it's going to be Hoyer versus Stidham competing for that third QB spot.
Right.
But 4 QBs on the roster now.
Is Brian Hoyer, is this a thing where, and I don't know why they would use this, especially with Cam Newton, who's been in the league. I think this is going to be his 10th year in the league this year. I was thinking about maybe Brian Hoyer being a guy that, like a veteran guy, just to be in that room, to, be a guy that can give advice. But, I mean, Cam Newton's a guy that's been in the league for a long time. And, a former MVP of the league and, Super Bowl appearance.
Was that the end of your sentence?
No, I was just, started laughing.
I'm moving on to the next topic when you're done with your sentence.
Oh, okay. But, anyway, so I thought maybe there was a veteran appearance for Brian Hoyer, but I don't know. So we'll see. I believe it would be Brian Hoyer versus Stidham for the third string quarterback. But I'm really interested to see how the first string quarterback situation is going to go with Cam Newton and Mac Jones.
I just pulled up a picture because do you know where Brian Hoyer went to college?
I do.
Okay. You don't have to tell me as long as you know.
Okay.
Okay, how about you tell me?
Is it Penn State?
Close. Same conference. Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Do you know what other 2 NFL quarterbacks were also with him at Michigan State?
Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
And
a guy that transferred to Arizona?
Is
that right?
I definitely know it was Kirk Cousins because I remember seeing a Michigan State rewind on ESPN Classics or something, and I was like, man, that was a quarterback room. And it was Brian Hoyer, Kirk Cousins, and
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles,
who did go to Arizona. I pulled up that picture while we were talking about Hoyer, and Bryce was checking it out. How about that quarterback room, Bryce? That's some talent right there.
Dude, that's crazy.
And
think about Alabama. Last year, there's a picture of Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, and then Jalen Hurts after the championship game.
All 3 in the NFL right now as potential starters. A lot of hair on Nick Foles.
He looks like a surfer boy.
It's like Napoleon Dynamite.
He does.
In that picture.
Super Bowl MVP.
He is a Super Bowl MVP. How about that?
And he is no longer that.
Where is he still in Chicago?
Good question.
We need to do this on Friday.
I watched Nick Foles play live in person when I went with my roommate from college, big Tennessee Titans fan. He was playing for the Jaguars. Didn't realize how big Nick Foles was. He's a pretty big human being.
Yeah, say he's 6'6" on Wikipedia.
And he wasn't good at the time, but I remember saying, I'm watching a Super Bowl MVP play right now.
He is a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, Bryce.
And didn't Zay and the Jones go to Westlake? Didn't they go to in Austin?
I'm
pretty sure they did.
We are in a rabbit hole right now.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure what we were going to talk about, but we got plenty to talk about right now.
I'm pretty sure that's where Zay, or at least Zay's Levi went.
We got Drew Brees. Justin Tucker went there. I'm not seeing any of the Joneses. I mean, you might be right.
Yeah.
But Alexis Jones, I don't know if there's any relation there. Justin Tucker has been brought up a few times here lately because did you see Jake Verity signed a free agent contract with the Baltimore Ravens? So
I saw that. Thanks to y'all, I saw that.
There you go.
Zay Jones went to Austin High School.
Now, what about Levi Jones?
Look it up, Chandler.
I feel like I saw he went to West.
I mean, it is Austin, Texas, so I'm going to say you're right, Bryce. I just don't have that information, but maybe Chandler can Google that.
We're not going to call you a liar.
No, I think he knows what he's talking about here.
No, Levi. Wow, this is very strange. Levi went to Santa Cruz Valley Union High School in Arizona.
Really?
This is not the Levi Jones.
That's a different Levi.
Because it said he entered the draft in 2002.
Oh yeah, that's
all.
Levi Jones is a linebacker. Don't know if he is now. Westlake is his high school at NC State.
I thought so.
Nailed it.
I was like, all right. That looks familiar.
We can finally move on.
Yes.
Let's get a break in. We'll come back. I got some baseball to talk about. Cliff Godwin. We'll hear his comments. We got some great news today regarding attendance in the NCAA baseball regionals, which Bryce, we could be having here in Greenville. We talked about it last week.
Oh yeah.
Somebody get a tailgate ready for Bryce Williams.
That's
because there's going to be fans in the stands and in the jungle. We'll talk about that too when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Yay.
In studio with Wimpy, also known as Brian Fields to his friends and family. Why do you like F3?
I go to F3 because got other brothers there, a bunch of men who push me working out, who sweat with me, and it allows me to be a better person both physically and mentally. That in turn makes me more to be a better businessman, better father. Just the relationships that I've built over the last few years, it's really changed my life.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
Weekends are made for AJ McMurphy's. Start your Sunday fun day at AJ's. AJ's is now serving brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Enjoy your weekend with live music on Friday night and Saturday night with no cover charge. And you can catch all of the MLB and ECU baseball action on AJ's TVs. See you this weekend at AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
The Tulsa River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tarboro River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroRiverBandits.com.
Fans, be sure to purchase your game day tickets in advance online at woodducksbaseball.com or by calling the team office at Granger Stadium. Ticket prices for Sunday through Thursday are just $7, and Friday and Saturday tickets are $12. To book your group tickets or purchase season tickets, call our front office at 252-686-5154. Book soon for the 2021 season. Opening day is right around the corner on May 11th. Go Woodies!
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the world's leader in traditional golf apparel. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Thinking of remodeling your home or business? AG's Home Solutions has been serving the remodeling needs of Eastern North Carolinians since 2017. The company specializes in additions, kitchen and bath remodels, historic preservation, commercial upfitting, and new construction. AG's Home Solutions also offers a full-service design center and showroom staffed with knowledgeable sales and design consultants ready to help with any remodeling project. Visit aghomesolutions.com to get started today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All righty. We were hoping this would happen. We talk about it happening, and we spoke it into existence. The NCAA announced that local and state guidelines will guide capacity limits in the baseball and softball postseasons. 100% will be allowed. Masks and distancing will not be required at the ballparks. So we've opened things up here in North Carolina. That was good news. The bad news was ECU finished out the season road series, conference tournament. No more games at Clark LeClaire Stadium, right when it was announced that we would be able to have fans in the stands. So kind of bad timing there. But it was announced on Friday, the 20 potential regional sites for the NCAA tournament. ECU and Greenville was one of those 20, Bryce. So they will narrow that down coming up on Memorial Day, and we'll find out who's in the tournament and who the hosts are. And ECU expects to be one of those if they continue their good play. Went 3-1 last week. And we'll look for a winning weekend coming up against South Florida. So that news came out today. That is really good news. And last week on the show, Bryce, you were saying that if things get opened up, you might plan on attending a couple of those games.
Yeah, I haven't been to a baseball game in quite a while. And like I've said earlier also, I enjoy the baseball games. It's kind of relaxing for me. You're just hanging out, chilling, and then someone hits a home run or, just something crazy. So, yeah, I'm going to try and get out there. I'm feeling the jungle. I've never been to the jungle.
Really?
Never been to the jungle from my... Yeah, no, never the jungle. I was going to hold back, but I'm pretty sure I haven't.
You'd be a legend in the jungle, Bryce. You would not have to pay for a beer. You would not have to grill your own food. People be handing you plates, drinks, cups.
I'd be totally obliged to receive all that. So
I could see that in your future.
Yeah, so I would like to try to make a visit out to the jungle if we can. I guess it's a hold on to our regional spot.
It's kind of an awkward deal, right? Because the announcement's made on Friday at noon. ECU has to go out and play a doubleheader starting at 1. So they couldn't. You don't really celebrate it because it's not official yet.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If it's not official, do you think Coach Godwin would not tell the guy? He's
addressed it. He said yesterday when he joined us on the show, but it's like look, this could all go away if we don't play well.
So yeah, I guess it might be. I guess you can't really go wrong with telling them, "Hey, you got this, so don't lose it," or not tell them, and they just.
I don't think it adds pressure. They know what's in front of them. They have other goals too. They're trying to win the regular season. They're trying to win their conference, but hosting that regional very, very important to advance in the NCAA tournament. Cliff Godwin spoke via Zoom yesterday before coming on this program and before heading out of town. Shirley, let's hear his opening comments from Tuesday.
Yeah, so really good weekend this past weekend. Thought our guys battled through a lot of adversity. Game 1, Gavin pitched great. We played good. Game 2, just didn't get a quality start and had to go to the bullpen early. Guys battled, but we really didn't play well enough to win. The game was lost well before the 10th inning. I thought we did a good job of just scratching and clawing to put ourselves in a position to even go to extra innings. And we did it, but it didn't work out. And I thought our guys rebounded really well on Saturday because, everybody thinks a game 3 starter is a game 3 starter. Well, Shawver is their Friday night guy. He's just throwing in game 3. Thought Carson gave us a quality start. Thought our guys did an unbelievable job offensively, just grinding on him. And he was at like 105 after 5 innings, got him out of the game. And we're able to just hold on, to at the end and win by a run. And then Sunday, it was really 2 tired teams playing each other. I don't know if you guys could see that on TV, but they were just battling. I mean, 4 games and, extra innings, and it just was a lot. 11 o'clock start. We started Cam, and we knew we were just going to maybe get an inning or 2 out of him. He wanted to go longer, but we wanted to make sure he's available for the rest of the year. And then a lot of guys stepped up. Landon Ginn was huge. Danny Bill was huge. Josh Groves was huge. And then C.J. Mayhew, what he did for us this past weekend. I mean, he really pitched great his last 2 outings on Saturday and Sunday and looked like himself. And that's great to see going down the stretch. And thought our guys just played well. And to go 3-1 on the road is huge. And going in this week, we're half game in first place. And, we control our own destiny. That's all you can ask for going into the last weekend. And, of course, we'll need to play well down at South Florida to be able to hold on to this thing. So we've taken the past 2 days pretty much off. That guys have lifted weights, but they were cash. So we won't practice again as a team until we get on the plane and head down to South Florida. We'll practice at South Florida tomorrow night.
Cliff Godwin recapping the series victory over Cincinnati there. Pirates back on the road this week against South Florida, hoping to win some games in the conference tournament and hosting a regional. And Josh Thomas says that tell Bryce I'll have a beer and barbecue plate with his name on it in the jungle. Well, that's nice, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
That sounds lovely.
Thanks for letting me pass that message along. Be nice if I was included in that, but hey, look, it's fine. It's fine. Bryce is a football hero on the field. I'm just a talking head. You just kidding, Josh.
Pirate Nation.
I know that I got at least a small plate and maybe half a beer with my name on it there in the jungle. Matter of fact, I believe when I was done with my PA duties last time ECU had a regional, I went out to the jungle to watch some of the game I wasn't doing, and I think Josh handed me a beer when I got out there. So good. There's a lot of good folks out there, Bryce, in the jungle. Cliff Godwin has alluded to this a few times this year. He doesn't bring it up himself, but he does, when asked about it, talk about it, the 4-game series and the challenging aspects that it provides, and he spoke on that yesterday as well.
No, it's a lot different, and trying to maneuver through it. I tell you what, when we play one game in the conference tournament, it's going to feel like we're at recess, I can tell you that, because these 4-game weekends, and it's worn on everybody as the season keeps going on, and the last couple, it just seems like you're out there for 20 hours in one day when you're playing that doubleheader. And look, and everybody's trying to win, but when you're fighting for first place, I think there's more stress in it than other teams and what Tulane and us are having to go through. Of course, everybody's trying to beat us, but at the same time, it's just every pitch is the difference between winning and losing a game. And all the games were close at Cincinnati. Playing a team 8 times, able to win 7 out of 8 is pretty good. I don't care if you're playing a high school team; it's just tough to beat a team that many times. And Cincinnati's not bad. They're well coached and they're very good offensively, and I think they got really good starting pitching. So, but we're just getting ready for this weekend and try to get our guys as fresh as possible and get ready to go for South Florida.
All right, Jake Coochmaner has moved to the bullpen. Cliff Godwin was asked about Cooch and his performance and moving forward, him coming out of the bullpen for the Pirates.
First off, Cooch pitched really well in the bullpen on Friday for 2 innings, and then for whatever reason kind of lost his command the first 2 batters. We went to another guy after that. Sunday, his stuff's a lot better. He got a guy 2-2 who's a senior. I think he's a senior. He's an older guy. He's hitting the 9-hole, I think. But 8 home runs, and he threw a 2-2 fastball right down the middle, and the guy hit it out, which he didn't execute that pitch. But the thing that bothered me the most, and Cooch and I talked about this, was he walked the next guy. And that's just not like him. But he played first base for us as well. Mullen tweaked his hamstring. I don't know if you guys knew that. Obviously, he was kind of laboring into second base on that double when he knocked in 2 guys on Friday. I really didn't think he'd be able to go Saturday. And Zach Womack did a tremendous job with him, and he said, look, I can run 80%. I said, well, you're not fast anyway, so we'll just DH you, and if you get in a double play situation, hit the ball in the air. And he did a great job. I mean, he had some really good at-bats for Saturday and Sunday, so hopefully he feels better and has an option to play first base. He actually tweaked it stretching at first base, so that's the way he kind of tweaked his hamstring.
All right, a little injury update there on Josh Moylan as well. And finally, Cliff Godwin talked about Gavin Williams, and you want to talk about an ace. The numbers Gavin has put up this year for East Carolina have been phenomenal. He has not lost the start, Bryce. Gavin on the year is 8-0. The ERA right now is sitting at 1.47. He has struck out 87 batters, only walked 16 batters, which has been a bit of an issue for him in the past. Gets a little wild at times, but he has been dominant for the Pirates, and Cliff Godwin talked about Gavin Williams' season thus far.
Yeah, I've said this a lot. I mean, look, if it's not for Gavin Williams, I mean, he solidified the Friday night role for us and taking the ball once he got healthy, and kudos to him. And I don't know if I've said this public or not, but Gavin Williams bet on himself by not taking some money out of the professional draft. I did not twist his arm. Him and I had a discussion. He told me these were the things that he was looking for, and I made sure that he told his parents the same thing he told me. And I said, well, if this is what you're saying, then make sure that you tell your parents, and then if it doesn't work out the way you want it to, then come back here and prove people that you can take the ball on Friday night and go out there. And I don't think he would have went out into professional baseball, and this is my personal opinion, and who am I, but if he'd have left last year, his repertoire of pitches wouldn't be as good as they are right now, and they probably would have thrown him in the bullpen. But now he's proven to people that he can take the ball and go out there and throw 5 to 7 innings and be lights out. And it's really special. I definitely think people take it for granted. I do not take it for granted. Our coaches don't take it for granted. Our players don't take it for granted. But it is really like how Agnos was back in 19. And, when they go out there, you got a really good chance to win the baseball game when they're pitching. And they would stack up against anybody in the country. I mean, Gavin could pitch anywhere, and Jake could too. So, as a lot of our pitchers, but to take the ball on Friday night, people don't understand how important that is because you're matching up against everybody else as number one. And Gavin's done an unbelievable job doing that.
All right, there is Cliff Godwin talking about Gavin Williams and the job he's done as the ace, the Friday starter for ECU this year, and looking forward to seeing him in big game situations. He's pitched, remember when they closed out the Greenville Regional against Campbell, he started the game and was throwing 100 miles per hour and was all juiced up, and could have that opportunity again coming up this year. Shirley, get your update desk ready for Thursday. Alec Burleson will hit 6th tonight for the Springfield Cardinals in their game. Just saw that announced on social media, so we'll follow Burley as he moved up. Bryce, the minor league baseball season is 2 weeks old. Burleson already went from high A to double A, so you don't usually see a lot of player movement until June, July. Yeah. He moved up a level in 2 weeks. That's how well he's been hitting. So we're keeping an eye on all of our former Pirates out there right now. All right, we got to go Pirate Radio Outdoors. We got to find out how the wedding weekend went for Bryce and Chandler. And we got to open up the Pirate Radio booty bag.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, 317-1250. It is your time to win on Pirate Radio Live. And Shirley, what are we giving away today?
Free lunch at CPW.
Oh, man. Cannot go wrong at CPW's. What caller are we looking for?
Number 12.
Caller 12 is a winner right now. 317-1250. We're back with Bryce Williams. We'll go Pirate Radio Outdoors when we return after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 Cadillac XT6 and save over $4,750. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys can help people with any aches or pains.
Yep, we sure can. As it's getting warmer, we know more people are outside, wanting to be more active, and we know spring sports are in play as well. And so if you've got a knee or ankle injury, whether it's just a strain or a sprain, we've got specialists there to treat the weekend warrior and the athlete. For more information, visit us online at kptonline.com or call us at 364-2806.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Look for Sparky Snowballs location at the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road, and remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com.
Hey Birdland, the game plan is set and we're excited to welcome fans back to Oriole Park. To prepare, we've made updates to our game day policies to keep everyone healthy and safe. Oriole Park will feature limited capacity pod seating, digital ticketing through the MLB Ballpark app, contactless entry, and cashless transactions. All fans are required to wear masks and no outside food or bags will be permitted. The experience may be different, but the excitement is the same. Learn more about our game day health and safety policies at Orioles.com/welcome back.
Pirate Radio.
The
voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Live well, move more, and hurt less with Kinetic Physical Therapy. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has nationally certified therapists for physical, occupational, speech, and massage therapy, all in the state-of-the-art facility on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Visit kineticptgreenville.com for more information. And congratulations to Tim Randall of Greenville, picked up free lunch at CPW's. CPW's is back open every day for lunch. Their classic menu is also back with favorites like tortellini CPW's, Cajun chicken and pasta, classic lasagna, the garbage pizza, the stromboli, the calzone, Atlantic salmon, Cajun fried shrimp wrap, and more. Start every meal off with your favorite beverage and CPW's fresh baked bread and garlic butter. They are located in the Stanton Square Shopping Center next to the hospital, and you can follow CPW's on Facebook for daily updates. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Shirley Rhodes, Dorothea Forbrig, the East Carolina women's golfer, will be teeing off at 9:36 local time out in Arizona tomorrow. And Bryce said the best he's played was when he was in Arizona, and that's where they will be. I don't know if you've heard about this at all, Bryce. They had the NCAA regionals down in Baton Rouge for the women's golfers, and one of our golfers from ECU, Dorothea Forbrig, was there. They said the course wasn't playable at a championship level, so they just canceled the thing. And the girls were like, "Wait, this is BS. This is bogus. Get your course in order. We'll play on it. Well, it'll be more difficult, but let's play." And they wouldn't let them play. So there was a big uproar about it. Riggs from Barstool Sports said, "I'm making a tournament. I'll work with the NCAA with compliance stuff, and we'll do it out in Arizona." So that's where we talked to Dorothea on the show yesterday. She's heading out to Arizona. I believe I saw Whirlwind.
Well, I've played there at Wild Horse Pass. Chandler, Arizona. Should be. That's
what I believe it is. That's where they will be playing. So,
and I've been fortunate to play there 2 or 3 times.
Okay,
and it's
Whirlwind Golf, and at Wild Horse Pass. So, I don't know what advice would you give Dorothea about the course there?
I don't know if she wants my advice, but I guess one advice, or maybe I'm just informing her. It is a super nice golf course. So she should hit. Yeah, if she's in the fairways, are manicured nice, good. The greens are a little fast, probably about a 10, as in like speed. Mm-hmm. So let's see, what else could I give her? Not very,
How's the rough? Is it tough? Is it
the rough?
Is there rough, or is it just desert land?
Honest, I think it's like a little bit of rough from what I remember.
It's tough rough, Jeff.
Yeah.
Tough rough.
And so I think she, from my experience there, hitting a solid probably 95.
Nice picture of her out there. Got a cool ECU golf bag, and this was a cool picture too, Bryce. They said this is from ECU Women's Golf. She has arrived at Whirlwind and is ready to hang another banner for ECU and Barstool. Sup Dogs won the back-to-back Barstool championships, and now Dorothea trying to win another one. So this is a pretty cool deal they've put on. Yeah. And she says it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll keep an eye on that.
This is a Barstool deal.
Because, again, and Dorothea is not playing golf anymore at ECU, so her eligibility has run out now.
Okay.
She was going to compete for a national championship. She could have advanced, but they didn't have that tournament.
Dang.
So this is like a make good tournament, and all of those teams and individual golfers who did not get to compete in Baton Rouge are heading out there to play. So it's a pretty neat deal.
That'll be cool. I wonder if it'll be, I guess I'll see it on Barstool, on Instagram maybe.
Yeah, they'll update if you follow, I think Foreplay is their golf podcast.
Yeah.
Or if you follow Riggs, I'm sure they'll be updating it throughout, because he's got he put out the tee off times and everything. So it's a pretty neat deal. Got the pairings and all that stuff.
Well, that's cool, yeah.
Fans are welcome. So if you're in the area, go ahead and head on out.
Nice.
All right. We got to go Pirate Radio Outdoors. Before we do that, Let's hear from the wedding crashers, Bryce and Chandler. What were the highlights of the weddings you guys attended? Separate weddings over the weekends.
Well, mine was at a tobacco barn.
All right.
And it was a great venue. It was awesome. The lights and the way of course, it was clean, but it was a great venue. It was a beautiful wedding, and the after party, of course, was great. Stayed there till about midnight. I found Hogan's goat.
There we go.
Oh, wow. I sacrificed the goat.
There we go.
And then I found his ghost, and I rode his ghost home. So yeah, if that tells you anything.
Dang.
But yeah, had a great time.
Did you sing any karaoke?
I didn't. Well, basically, especially when like Hank Williams Jr. came on, we were out on the dance floor. Just everybody was just basically, it was like a sing along.
I saw a video of you singing karaoke last Friday.
Yes, I know. I heard.
Morgan said you did a good job, and he's not going to put that out for the public. He said you did good.
Well, yeah, it was a great time. The Buck is a really great, awesome place. Awesome. But yeah, awesome weekend. This is my first wedding. I went to one when I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old, but I haven't been to one since.
Wow.
And I was actually,
that's a heck of a wedding drought.
So yeah. Jeez. So I have not been, especially been to a wedding where I was able to drink. I was a part of this wedding. I was honored to be a part of it. I was an usher in this wedding. So yeah, great weekend, and congratulations to Jeremy and Michaela.
All right, Bryce, how about you? What were the highlights?
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting together and seeing all the guys again. I saw most of them, I guess, a month ago, in Austin. But obviously, getting to see Shane Grove and Jake and CJ. I mean, like I said, I could go on the list. So getting to see all those guys again is always fun, and a great time, and of course a lot of energy. Once again, it was actually in a barn as well, not tobacco barn, but I guess it's just a built barn. It wasn't like anything they converted. They just built it into like a barn and everything, and very pretty place in Durham. I couldn't tell you any more about that. I wasn't really paying too much attention about where we were going, but it was fun. And
Bryce is like the dog in the car. He's just kind of wagging his tail.
Oh yeah,
hey, where are we going? Well, I'm sure we'll have fun when we get there.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I didn't pay no mind, and of course I had to get a full belly. I was starving. But the food,
what was the what kind of food did we have?
We had what did we have? I mean, we had chicken, London broil, and then a bunch of a bunch of good sides. And I didn't get into the cake. I was preoccupied with other things after dinner. But yeah, it was a great time. The reception was fun, and a lot of dancing. Shane and our thing, I guess, is he'll pick me up and dance around, and he'll get on my back, and we just act a little crazy. And, wow, it was fun. Shane told me he was like 220. I said, "There's no way." Well, he said 220, whatever. He felt heavier than what he told me, so I think Shane's hiding some pounds. That he's telling me.
We got to get him on.
Yeah.
To talk about that.
Yeah. So then he got on, and then he held me and decided to want to front squat me. I think he front squat me.
My God.
In the middle of the dance floor.
So a wedding turns into like a combine.
A combine. Oh yeah.
The wedding combine.
And just like it was a good.
Run the 42.
Yeah, we didn't make it that far, but we had a great time, and our friends Adam and Hillary, they're I guess down in Florida now on their honeymoon, so. Enjoying themselves, and yeah, it was a good time.
Chandler, what'd you eat?
We had fried chicken. It's your classic country.
I mean, what else are you gonna have in a tobacco barn?
Fried chicken. I might be getting the rehearsal dinner and the actual wedding dinner mixed up, but fried chicken, corn, mashed potatoes with pot roast, something else too. And like some rolls and stuff.
I want to get married again because we had a pasta bar for our like rehearsal dinner, and man, I love a buffet, and I love pasta, and you make a pasta buffet, I want that again.
Yeah, because what side? I mean, do you go Alfredo and meat sauce? I mean, I'm an Alfredo fan.
Yeah, you have like your meat, and you have I'm always Alfredo.
Yeah, there we go.
Which, I mean, I'm a spaghetti guy, but I love some chicken Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo. Meatball, anything Alfredo.
Cajun shrimp Alfredo.
Man,
I tell you
Cajun
what,
chicken shrimp Alfredo mushrooms. I can go on.
So he was talking about Shane a while ago, and that really makes me think of football season. And I'm trying to figure out how many days till football
I was
season.
going to do that, but I like that you did it.
I didn't know if you had remembered or not. But
I like that you did that. Oh, we got a special treat today. Shirley Rhodes.
How many days till ECU kicks off?
What's your guess, Bryce?
What was it last time? It's what is it? We'll say it's almost June, mid-May. We kick off in August. How many months is that? I'm just shooting a number. I don't feel like counting too much. I'm going 195.
Good Lord! Are we going to start in December?
Oh God! Math was totally wrong.
Have mercy!
106. Hey, I was.
Woo! Look at that woman right there.
Yeah.
Shirley showing the softball legs.
106. I'm a little ahead. I'm fast forward a little bit.
Hey, you should be excited now. You just cut 100 days off.
Yeah, it's sooner than I thought. I hope nobody heard me say that.
Hey, Shirley, show off your new kicks while you're in there.
She got new, shoes? Or, or she can do new kicks.
Kick. Stretch.
Oh, I like those.
She's quite not 50.
106 days away from kicking things off.
That's great.
Thank you, Shirley, for
Thanks,
that.
Shirley.
We will now wait for Shirley to return to her seat to cut this music off. Hey, no rush. No rush. Because we have other music we need to play real quick. We got to get our Pirate Radio Outdoors update. We got to take another break at some point, too. So let's
do that now, and then let's close out the show with Pirate Outdoors.
That's what a producer does right there. Air traffic control.
Yes.
Bryce Williams, Pirate Radio Outdoors, on the way to wrap up a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former Pirate receiver Larry Shannon.
We just had one goal in mind as we went to the Liberty Bowl in 1995, and that was to win. Coach Logan had this slogan of unfinished business, and that was kind of our motivation all year. And I just remember that game. Offensively, we didn't play very well. Obviously, Stanford had a good defense as well. And I remember our defense just carrying us and pulling us through and making the plays, to get that big victory for the program.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
Anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Okay, let's just try not to embarrass ourselves and everything will be fine.
Yeah, sure, totally. Is that a Pepsi Wild Cherry?
Oh, no. Please, not here. Not here.
Too late. You know something, Steve? Flavor Mania's about to run wild.
Oh, not Flavor Mania.
Pepsi Wild Cherry's about to drop a flavor suplex right into your pie hole. It's gonna hit your taste buds with a top rope elbow of flavor. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be refreshing. It's gonna throw your Wild Cherry loving brain right through the announcer's table.
Oh, I can't take you anywhere.
Flavor Mania doesn't need your permission, Steve, because the world knows that nothing is gonna get between Pepsi Wild Cherry and that flavor championship belt. Are you ready to get wild?
Oh, please don't
Come
get
on,
wild.
Steve. I said, are you ready to get wild?
Seriously, does this always have to happen when you drink Pepsi Wild Cherry?
You better believe it, brother.
Pepsi Wild Cherry. Now available in zero sugar. That's what I like.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99. Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for only $2.50. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or vegetable fajitas for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's in downtown Greenville and now available through DoorDash, featuring a half gallon of the famous margarita mix to go for only $9.99. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
This is Steven Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your stock market report for today. The Dow was down 164 points at 33,896. The NASDAQ dropped only 3 points, closed at 13,299, and the S&P was down 12 at 4,115. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip Rock.
Wrapping up Pirate Radio Live. Before we do, we got to go Pirate Radio Outdoors with Bryce Williams, find out what he's been up to hunting, fishing, and everything in between. And with a wedding over the past weekend, Bryce, have you been able to get in the boat?
Unfortunately, we're not able to get on the boat. I did a little bit of fiddling on the boat, but nothing too serious to talk about. Yeah, the wedding, kept me off the water for, at least Saturday, and then Sunday was traveling back in. But, I was able to be outside and, took advantage of the good weather and went golfing and, worked on my golf game. I guess I saw some geese and some fish in the pond while I was on the golf course, but that's about the closest thing to hunting and fishing I got was...
So what's that like, Bryce? You're a hunter, you're a fisher, but when on the golf course, you're coexisting with these animals. Are you friends at that point?
Yeah, I'm pretty friendly with them. I'll be, most of the time I'll just walk a few holes and, I'll walk by.
But you're like, hey, I see you.
You better be glad I ain't got my gun.
I'm looking at these geese like, hey, guess what? And I think it's September.
We
won't go into detail, but yeah, Stanley said that for me. So there's plenty of them out there, so they're safe right now. The fish are safe because I obviously didn't have my fishing pole with me, or anything like that. So yeah,
they probably get a little cocky too. The geese will go up to you, the fish will go up to the top of the water.
I had a geese, and I'm sitting there, on my push cart, so I'm walking the cart path, and there's a goose, probably 3 yards from me, not even budging, like kind of staring at me, like, yo, what you about to do? Like, I'm ready for you. And I'm like, well, I'm ready for you. So,
had a little standoff.
Yeah. I said, oh, yeah. And I jumped at him, and he got
people are going to think you're like high on something.
Yeah.
Like, what's that guy talking to those animals for?
Yeah, hey.
Like, what the hell's wrong with that guy?
I know. I'm like Dr. Doolittle.
I'm going to get you in September.
Dr. Doolittle. But yeah, Dr. Doolittle helps him. I just control.
Oh, speaking of which,
numbers.
I was going to bring up. I don't know if you've got the venue for yours and Anna's wedding yet.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you should have it on a boat. Have your wedding on a boat.
That would be nice. It will
and
be.
Have it on the water.
It will. Well, the water, maybe trying to incorporate a boat, but the venue is the Watson House in Emerald Isle. Is it Emerald Isle?
So you're near water.
Oh yeah, I mean, the
venue's
the venue's by water. It's like on the water, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Steve says another great show by Sherpler Rocky Cut. Thank you, Steve. Nah.
I like Rocky Cut.
Sherpler, Rocky.
Sherpler.
Okay. Sherpler. Trying to combine all our names, Bryce. Shirley, myself, and Chandler.
Right.
I forgot to ask Bryce what his favorite movie was.
Oh.
I meant to bring it up when we talked Wedding Crashers, so you got a week to think about it, Bryce.
Okay, thank goodness.
We're out of time.
Can you give me 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm going to need.
We'll give you some time. Shirley, Chandler, enjoyed it. Thank y'all, folks, for tuning in. Bryce, good to see you, buddy.
Yes, thank y'all for having me.
We'll be here Thursday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and